Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Overreaction Monday, January 4th, 2021. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Some things do not change with the new year, but Happy New Year to you. I hope you had an incredible weekend. I hope your thoughts with yourself on the time the ball dropped were positive. I hope you're going into 2021 with an incredibly positive attitude. Now, it's going to be tough because I do believe that 2021 for the first couple months might look a lot like 2020, but know that there's better roads ahead, and let's kick the living shit out of the year 2021, which will go down as the greatest year in the history of years.
Hell yeah.
Congrats to 2021 on already being the greatest year in the history of years. Can't wait to experience. You also can't wait to experience Super Wild Card Weekend coming up just a few days from now. 3 games of importance on the NFL on Saturday. 3 games of importance for the NFL on Sunday. All weekend long, we're building towards the Super Bowl. Got some great guests today. Field Yates will be joining us. Darius Butler will be joining us. AJ Hawk will be joining us. And hopefully some of your phone calls. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. We have overreactions from all over Twitter. We have coaches being fired, GM's positions being filled, college coaches potentially getting hired. There's a lot of shit to pop off, and we can't wait to do it alongside you all damn day. Here on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. For the first time in what seems to be maybe 2 months, Tone Diggs is back.
Yeah, Tony! Good to be back, Pat. It's good to be back.
Big congrats to Tone Diggs on being a COVID survivor.
Yep,
Not a
lot of us.
Happy New Year, and you are officially now a
unicorn.
Wow. So you can go kiss the men and the women.
I can do whatever I want right now, Pat. I can do whatever I want right now.
It has to feel like a little bit of a weight is off your chest, literally and figuratively, because of what that is, but also because now you're immune to this thing.
I'm immune to this thing. I can't infect anybody else. I can do whatever I want, Pat.
Man, good for you. Congrats on that. How was it? How was it? Was it flu-like? What was it like for those of us who've never had to experience it?
It was flu-like. You just lay in bed and you're like, fuck, like you're just tired all the time and you have flu-like symptoms. It was a tougher opponent than I thought it was going to be, but won in the end.
10-round fight for you.
Yeah.
It didn't come out of the attic in the cellar for you, though, like some flus, right? None of that.
No.
Just exhaustion.
Sore throat, headache. Headache was the worst part, but yeah.
Hey, sometimes you're going to get punched in the face.
Sometimes.
Sometimes you're going to get slapped in the mouth, whether it's the flu or COVID or anything else. Sorry, show just if I did that, but happy you're back. Happy you're okay.
Happy to be back. Thank
Pittsburgh Steelers allow the Cleveland Browns into the playoffs for the first time in 18 years. Congrats.
All right.
The Cleveland Browns had to earn it. I'm not talking about all season. They obviously played great football, but this last game, obviously, the Steelers rested for their captains, their main players. Everybody else kind of got in there. Mason Rudolph looked a lot better than he did last year, but not enough to beat the Cleveland Browns, who secure a playoff spot for the first time in a long time. There's a long list of quarterbacks on the back of those jerseys for the last couple decades for the Cleveland Browns to go play quarterback for the dog pound, and they all sucked. They all stink. Same old Browns, decade later, same old fucking Browns. The dog pound was passionate. The dog pound was loyal. The dog pound wasn't allowed to drink Bud Light for one particular season until they won a game. By the way, they're one of the only teams in the history to actually not win a game in a season. The Cleveland Browns have been a cycle of shit for the last couple decades. Yep. And there's one man that came to town to save the day. Baker Mayfield. Hey! Now, granted, they have a great run game, and Kevin Stefanski seems to have it figured out, but the Pittsburgh Steelers basically allow the Cleveland Browns in. Now, I'm not saying the Browns didn't deserve it, but they allow them in. Now they play 1 week from now. As a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, would be karma kicking you right in the dick if the Cleveland Browns were to win, but I was in this situation, actually. We allowed the New York Jets in whenever we chose to lose week 15. Then we went on to play the Jets later, and in the locker room, we knew all the conversation about the karma that would happen if we were to lose to the team that we let in, basically, and we went out there and won the game. I would assume, as a Steelers fan, you guys are very comfortable and confident in what's going to happen this weekend.
It's unique because the last time the Browns were in the playoffs, they lost to the Steelers, and the time that they were in before that, they lost to the Steelers. And I thought yesterday went about.
That was going to be your mic drop. That was your mic. Yeah, and then you realized that.
Yesterday went about as good as possible because I don't know if it puts a seed of doubt in the Browns' head not being able to win by just a 2-point conversion versus the Steelers team that wasn't trying. You've been in that situation before. Like,
jeez.
What?
That is whenever you paint it that way, but it's the NFL. Any given Sunday, anybody can win. Yep. And the Browns didn't have, offensive line coaches or anything else like that. They had a lot of people out with COVID. I was trying to think what they do during the game, but there is different conversations that happen, especially if you're a running team, which they are. Kareem Hunt, Chubb is a stud. Baker Mayfield seems to be playing well for the last 7-8 weeks or whatever. Jarvis, that could be a problem. If the Browns get their first playoff win in forever against the Pittsburgh Steelers, boy, I cannot wait for next Monday with diehard Steelers fans, Tone Diggs, Nick Moraldo, and Evan Foxy. Yeah. Congrats on making the playoffs your first year as a fan of the Steelers, Foxy.
No, I'm done with that team. I don't like that team anymore. The fans weren't good to me, so I'm not going to be good to them.
Who's your team for the playoffs then?
I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm going to let actually the fans of this show decide and maybe open up a poll and see.
Wow, you must really think people give a fuck. That is very, very, I respect it out of you. Good for you. I can't wait to see what the people think for you to cheer for. Detroit Lions might be hiring a guy that coached as an interim head coach for the Dolphins and ran Oklahoma drills first day of practice. Dan Campbell, who's the assistant head coach for the Saints currently, who only has that job because he was back with the Cowboys when Sean Payton was back with the Cowboys. They're good friends, but also won a couple games for the Dolphins as interim head coach. Right. I assume Chris Spielman and that Ford family will make the right decision up there.
Bring him in. I love it.
And also got Salah potentially on deck. Who knows how that's going to go. A lot of coaches potentially getting fired today. Already Anthony Lynn, right before we went on air, fired as the Chargers head coach, coming off a 4-game win streak. Now, granted, the entire season for the Chargers was one that was ugly, a lot of bad situational football, but they got a guy in Justin Herbert. That next selection of who comes in and coaches is going to be massive. This is basically framing a guy who potentially has the chance to be a Hall of Famer. That's very early to be saying that, but if you watch Herbert play, you watch the throws he makes, the way he seems to lead his team, and the way it goes, that next coach is going to have to be a quarterback developer, which everybody's saying Buffalo Bills head or offensive coordinator Dabble, who went to high school with Tom Telesco, who is the general manager of the Chargers. They've been friends since high school, and he's a good quarterback developer. You see what he did with Josh Allen. Let's assume that son bitch is going to Los Angeles after this Buffalo Bills playoff run, which, by the way, congrats to the Buffalo Bills for putting an exclamation point on an incredible season by beating the fuck out of the Dolphins.
God. Congratulations.
Josh Allen looks unconscious right now. Looks like he's just having fun. That Dolphins defense is a good defense, by the way. And Josh Allen was just toying with them. Gumpy, Dolphins don't make the playoffs. There was a chance that the Colts were going to collapse in the second half against Mike Glennon and Skycam and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Dolphins were going to potentially get in there. Jonathan Taylor starts getting the ball again. He's a fucking problem, by the way. He's very good at football. But the Dolphins now out of the playoffs. So much hope. Is Tua your guy, Gumpy? What's the future look like? Chan Gailey's probably out. The Dolphins are in disarray whenever it seems like this is the first time that they've had a chance to potentially have success in the near future.
It took until week 17, Pat, but it looks like we finally got exposed on the final day there. You have to make a decision. You have that number 3 pick. If you're going to take somebody else, do it. But if you're going to keep Tua, get Chan Gailey the fuck out. Bring in an OC from college who's going to be there on the field with Tua and get him some weapons.
All right. Well, that's a lot of conversation. What are you going to do with Fitzmagic, right? If Fitzmagic's there, maybe Chan Gailey, keep the old guy around. Miami's out. Obviously, they were the team that got out of the chairs. The what's that game called?
Musical chairs.
Musical chairs. When you and you sit. Anybody ever play that in real life?
Grade school, yeah.
Grade school.
Yeah, it was a good
Did we?
time.
Yeah. I mean, and then
Well, we played a 7-Up game.
Thumbs up, heads down, thumbs up.
That game was a hit.
but musical
Just
chairs
nap.
had to end because you would pull the chair out when
Yeah.
some kid went to sit down and then he'd
Some
fall
kid
and
broke
smack
his
his head
spine.
and his skull was.
And by the way, the person that won the game was the bad guy there.
yeah,
Exactly.
Not the loser that fucking didn't see the chair get slid out from underneath him.
Grab it, dude.
We're the bad
chairs.
guy. The
Yeah.
people that are Thank you. That's the purpose of the game, right? Get a fucking chair.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Wow.
bleeding
I'm
out.
the bad guy.
He's bleeding out on the floor for a reason.
Yeah. I'm sitting down. Isn't that the whole purpose of the game?
Winning.
Is it called musical floor or musical chairs? Because I'm in a goddamn chair right now. Anyways, Boston Connor, the AFC East, Buffalo Bills, number 2 seed in the AFC. How you doing? Keep it moving. That team looks very good right now.
Yeah, very quickly the standard turned to Buffalo, and with Belichick, bringing in Adam Gase, I assume we're bringing in Anthony Lynn for a little motivation. Maybe bring Bill O'Brien in to be an assistant GM, and honestly, you might as well get Tom Segura to play fullback. I mean, at this point, bring everybody in and let's just try and beat the Bills.
All right, so we have to address what you just talked about. I came in this morning. Okay, we do our standard thing. The toxicity twins of Nick, Ty, and then Connor slides in there. They're laughing at their phones. Then I overhear, I've watched this 2,000 times. And I go, what's that? And Nick goes, you won't want to watch it. It's not Tom Segura, though. And I go, I've been keeping up. I heard he had surgery or whatever. And they're like, have you seen the video yet? And I'm like, no, I have not seen a video. Nick turns around, shoves it in my face. I watched Tom Segura's entire leg blow out while trying to dunk, and then his left arm committed suicide, treason almost, behind his back, and he slaughters his arm, and his leg shatters into pieces.
Smithereens.
So, boom. One of the most grotesque injuries I've ever seen.
It was gruesome.
We're talking in a matter of a half a second, his entire body seemed to break. I'm a big Tom Segura fan.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm forced to see this. I don't want to see this video. Okay. But I laugh very hard watching a human body do that. I text Tom Segura. I let him know, like, hey, man, happy you survived that.
Yes.
Basically is what I said. And then we FaceTime him, obviously. I'm laughing in his face as he answers. I feel like a terrible person. Okay. I just seen it. And I go, man, I hope everything's good. He goes, yeah, everything's great, man. I spent the last 30 days in the hospital. He had a glove on his hand. And he said what I think needs to be remembered about this entire story about him and his body quitting whenever he went to try to jump. And his fucking turncoat, treasonous left arm that just went underneath his entire body. He dunked on a 9-foot rim right before that.
What?
He is the dunk champion. Bert Kreischer did not dunk. He did. Now, that is going to be a casualty to this story as we move forward because the next jump was so terrible. That is going to be the topic of conversation, but it does have to be remembered, and I feel like I'd be doing Tom a disservice here if I didn't say he did successfully attempt some athletic feat moments before maybe the worst athletic feat I've ever seen in my entire life. T's and P's on Tom's recovery.
There you go, Tom. I thought he slipped. I didn't know he blew his knee out till this morning.
Yeah, well, it could have been both.
Slip/blow.
Yeah, the slip could lead to an eventual
The explosion.
Yeah, for instance, Mike Evans slip.
Oh, geez. That looked bad.
That looked very bad. And by the way, that grass just came up like an entire thing. That sod, I guess, just went there. That Buccaneers team, T's and P's to the fullback for the Patriots, Tom Segura.
Yeah. Bring him in, Bill. Bring
By
him
the way,
in.
with his rehab, what he's probably going through right now, he's going to be a robotic man by the end of this thing.
Warrior spirit.
He's going to be doing stand-up. It's going to be like,
Yeah. Imagine him going through the hole, blowing somebody up. Come on.
If you haven't seen it yet, listen, I'm not somebody that enjoys watching people get hurt. Like, that's not something I'm into. I feel sick. I feel uncomfortable. Like, when somebody gets hit in the shins, like, I feel it. Like, I don't like watching those things. That video is hysterical, though, to see a human body do what it did there.
Well worth a watch.
Yeah.
And thank you for your sacrifice, Tom Segura's body, for all of our entertainment. I don't know if his brain knew the body was going to do that, but we appreciate his body sacrificing itself for entertainment purposes. Mike Evans, he probably tweaked some ligaments, right? I'd assume there's a little bit of a tweak, which means you stretch it, which means it's probably bruised. Not sure he's going to play this week, to be honest. That looked pretty bad. And then him walking off with the stumble there.
Yeah.
But that Buccaneers team, if you go back to halftime against Atlanta 2 weeks ago, all the way through here, they've been pretty dominant. Like, they've been a very good football team. Are they getting incredibly hot at the right time, which is all that matters in the playoffs? And do you have a quarterback that can lead you to it? Yes. They ran a screenplay to Gronk yesterday. The same exact play they ran maybe 6-7 weeks ago. Gronk looked like he was running in slow motion. Yesterday, he got this screenplay, and he looked fast. He was looking to run somebody over. It looked like Antonio Brown, them just doing little shovel passes to get him his bonus that he needed for a certain amount of receptions. By the way, congrats to the Bucs for doing that. Awesome. Russell Wilson also did that instead of taking a knee. He got it. Because back in the day, you'd always hear coaches, they'd be like, hey, get your money. You know, you need to do a pick six. Like, even if it's not the right move, like, get your money. And then it would come to game time, and somebody would need like 85% of the snaps to get a bonus, and that person would mysteriously get benched around 84%. It was like, I thought we were getting our money. I thought we were all in on this thing. So a lot of coaches, right? It's not their decision. It's obviously ownership in front of. It's somebody else's money telling them what to do. But the coaches always put up a front like, hey, I'm here. You get your money, right? You get your money. We're in this. You get your bread. Like that is always something that happens, right? Always said. Then very rarely do you see it actually unfold for whatever reason. Maybe there was a chance it couldn't happen or whatever. The Buccaneers, what I've been told, okay? I did a little digging.
Ooh.
Now, this is not directly from, everybody knows. I know like 100 people in that building. But from what I've been told is BA and Byron Leftwich were very open with like, hey, if you got something, tell us, let's go get it, basically. So like it was almost a plan going into the weekend. Like, hey, if you got something, let us know, we'll go get it. But there's a lot of coaches that talk about that. Very few make it happen like they did for AB yesterday. Mike Evans, I believe. There was a couple other ones that they were just kind of drawing in the sand. I saw that with the Colts team whenever we were undefeated and we chose to lose. A couple plays getting drawn up in the sand. I believe Reggie Wayne was playing running back for a little bit, and there was like 2 screen passes thrown to him. And I love whenever teams come together. And it's a lot bigger than just that person getting his money. That's something you can pitch to free agents in the offseason. Like, hey, these bonuses we're putting in here, even though they're not guaranteed money, somebody else might offer you more guaranteed money or whatever. These bonuses, it's not like we're going to fuck you. Like, if you're close, we'll go and get it for you. You want to play here. And that's why people ring chase, by the way, too, Tom. It feels like the Buccaneers are trying to do it all right. And it feels like that team is really hot right now. They got to play a team that I assume they don't want to play, which is a great defensive line, the Washington football team. But if they can block that D line with the Washington football team, the Buccaneers could potentially make us all a lot of money because we all bet on them going to the Super Bowl as soon as we saw Tom Brady get signed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think it's a good time to be hot for them. And I also like that move of them letting people get money. Yeah. Ty Schmidt. In the NFC, though, it's going to be tough because there is a quarterback that won the MVP last week on this show. Congrats to him. First drive by the Bears, 8 minutes long or something like that. They're just sitting on the sideline. I don't know how. They just have the mental toughness, just like nothing matters. We'll go out and we'll just right down the field against a great defense, by the way. That Packers team is unbelievable right now.
Yeah, they really are. And, I mean, to your point about starting to – I mean, the Bucs are – that's like the one team who I would kind of be a little bit worried about because that's probably who the Packers would end up playing after the bye. But the Packers are playing their best ball right now as well. Like, the defense is actually starting to play good. They played very well yesterday. They got put in some bad spots, but – I mean, the offense, you know, they had a little bit of a lull there. MVS dropped that touchdown and kind of swung the momentum a little bit. But, like, when they decide they need to go, like, they can just go and score. So
and everybody has to go through Lambeau.
Right. Yep. Which is huge. Never happened in Rodgers' career before. So.
And Aaron, by the way, what does he say? I just embrace the suck or something like that. It sucks less for me than it does for them. What an incredible mind. However you get through it.
Yeah.
However you get through it does not matter. Good for him, man. All right, we got to get to a break. What a hell of a start here on this Overreaction Monday. We're already 20 minutes into this thing. What's going on?
The only worry about that Bucs team, they are playing a late game prime time on Saturday, I believe, which is not good for Tommy and the boys.
Well, you know, has Tom had this sleep schedule his entire career?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Or is it just Reese?
From Guerrero.
Yeah, but Guerrero won them a lot of They won a lot of Super Bowls together.
Yeah, those games were played at 6:40 though.
Yeah, Super Bowls are, but the fucking games to get there, Connor. Jesus Christ.
We had a lot of 3 o'clock AFC championships. Prime time's tough for them.
Now that I think about it, I remember Tom just throwing a lot of legendary touchdowns with the sun still in the sky.
Yep, exactly.
Remember, that's all you really think of.
Yeah.
Jesus. You're so stupid. What is it, though? Is it the team? Is it Tom? Remember, a couple weeks ago, they were practicing at night, trying to get used to it. Didn't work.
No.
Almost one worse. They're a team. All right, we got to get to a break. We have Darius Butler joining us on the other side, 9-year NFL vet. Cannot wait to chat with him. Would like to keep everybody updated. Still undefeated with all knockouts in the Oculus boxing, moving up all the way to the top.
All right, let's go.
I have been knocked down. I have lost a couple rounds, but I got back up stronger in between rounds. Went to my corner, spit on the floor in my living room a couple times, went back out there and knocked some sons of bitches out.
It's all about.
It's the Pat McAfee Show, Overreaction Monday, January 4th, 2021. Darius Butler joins us on the other side for a great conversation, some of your tweets and phone calls. Let's have a goddamn day. Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah! How was the bye week? You weren't allowed to leave. You weren't allowed to do anything. What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I had the COVID test every morning, just like all of our guys.
Make sure you vote. Listen, if you don't vote, not having Aaron Rodgers Tuesday ever again, okay? Make sure you vote.
First Tuesday in November, right? So we're just going to skip the show.
No. Did you watch anything like maybe Ted Lasso during the bye week to help that entire thing out?
I didn't watch Ted Lasso.
Jesus.
Come on. Unbelievable. Don't vote, Aaron. Hey, don't vote.
You know, in a tent in nature, just camping on my own property.
You camped out on your own property during the bye week?
Yeah, I'm kidding about that.
Oh, my.
Did you really wear number 40 at West Virginia?
Yeah, it was my GPA and my favorite drink.
Oh, you are wearing shorts.
Yeah, come on, bro.
No?
Pat doesn't believe me that they don't give Toradol shots there.
They don't give Toradol shots. But Age would drink this green legume drink that I'm sure was legal, but it made his body he had the worst gas you could
How do you maintain that high level for so long? Is it like super competitive? Like you have to be an ultra competitive human being to be a quarterback?
Well, I think it starts with being hyper competitive. You know, I think that's a trait with all the long time great players is you just have. I love to compete. I think the most important thing is you have to be self-motivated, and again, that may seem like a standard statement, but it's not. I mean, not every player is self-motivated.
Hey, how's Jordan Love doing? We don't hear much about him.
You know, this is a good time for him to learn, to see what it looks like, to see what the week's preparation look like, and just kind of soak it all up.
And does that change where you throw the ball to people if they're more of a body catcher or hands catcher or anything like that?
You know, anybody that catches the ball with their hands, it just changes the whole catch rate. It changes the whole confidence you have in throwing them. But anybody that naturally catches the ball with their hands probably gets a few more looks. I would say this: there's places that I would like to go in the future, and one of them is Egypt.
Ooh. When were the pyramids and the Sphinx? When were they constructed? Also, like, what kind of technology did they use?
It was aliens. Say it.
Yeah, it was definitely aliens.
Bingo. Yeah, there it is. By the way.
Do not talk about
Pat McAfee.
Do not talk about
Pat McAfee.
One fight at a time, fellas.
The Pat McAfee Show.
That's right.
It's a new year, and the people at Canada CBD want to take a moment to let you know that this is your opportunity to make some healthy changes in your life.
Hell yeah.
time to take some accountability and be a better human in 2021, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Whatever it is, quitting the bad habit of chewing tobacco, or you just want to find a way to use CBD that isn't demasculinizing.
Ooh, good word.
Is that how that word is pronounced?
I think so.
Absolutely.
That's my first time seeing it right there. And I'll tell you what, felt pretty good coming out.
Come on.
Demasculinizing. Stick with what men do to get your perfect dose. Go grab some tins at CanadipCBD.com and use promo code LIPBOOMERS for 20% off this week.
Wow.
That's right. You go to CanadipCBD.com. That's CANNADIPSCBD.com. Use promo code LIPBOOMERS. You get 20% off this week. This is your moment to start fresh and make good decisions. The Canadips guys also have unlocked subscriptions on their website and will be shipping embroidered hats for free.
Wow.
With people's fourth order. So if you want to commit to a healthier 2021, make the change now and check out the subscription function. Go to CanadipCBD.com and use promo code LIPBOOMERS for 20% off. Remember, this comes after they lowered the prices by half.
Oh, yeah?
Just months ago. It's a new year and an opportunity for you to do something better in your life. We spent 4 years perfecting this product and are happy you don't have to lose any testosterone to enjoy CBD wherever, whenever. So do yourself a favor. Choose being a better man this new year and dip Canadip CBD. Head to CanadipCBD.com.
All right.
Let's go.
Very good.
So CBD lowers your testosterone?
I guess. I mean, that's what they're making it sound like. I'm not sure.
Demasculinizing.
Yeah.
I didn't know where they were heading early with the demasculinizing. Then they're right there at the end. They kind of tied it all together.
Mm-hmm. Good to know.
That's good writing there. Yeah. Is this fucking Billy Shakespeare? Incredible. Joining us now, host of the Man to Man podcast, 9 years in the NFL, one of the smartest football players I've ever got to witness his intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler.
Fellas.
No Miami Dolphins hat on today, huh? That's weird. We were taking bets on whether or not we thought you were going to be wearing a Dolphins hat today. That was a big question we had around here.
Nah, man. They're out of the game right now.
Okay, well, we talked about the Dolphins sucking and not knowing who their quarterback is and what they're going to do from the offensive coordinator. I mean, we talked about the team being good but having a lot of questions still earlier, so I don't want to kind of bore you and your time with the Miami Dolphins because there's a lot, bigger things to talk about. If you're playing for the Eagles, Doug Peterson, okay, and you've witnessed all this drama all year, okay, that's all it's been. And now that things are starting to linger out, Carson's going to ask for a trade. His relationship with Doug Peterson is fractured beyond repair, they said. It's like, okay, I don't know who's leaking that information, but it's somebody who knows what's going on, it sounds like. Now, granted, they had to walk those back a little bit, but it's all bullshit. The drama, if you're in that locker room behind the scenes, then Jason Kelsey a couple weeks ago goes on a speech about how your culture has to be about winning. And then last night, they pulled Jalen in a primetime divisional game to knock out a playoff team. They don't want to see what he's like in the fourth quarter of that game. They want to see Nate Sudfeld get meaningful reps to see if he's the guy. If you're for the Eagles, what is your mindset right now on the Eagles going forward?
I mean, if you're a player, it's tough, man. Like you said, you saw Kelsey come out, pour his heart out in that that media interview, the mullet out. And you know what players go through, especially week 17, put your body through shit all year. And you get out there and you see them, pulling hurts and, basically tanking in front of the whole NFL world. And for that to be the last game of the 2020 season that we all see on prime time, I think that's why you're getting the big overreaction. But, it's that comes from the top. They're trying to secure their draft spot. Obviously weren't going to win the division. Damn sure don't care about the Giants and how they feel. So they did what's best, I guess, from the front office standpoint, but from the players, from that locker room, the respect that you have for the coach, I think that drastically drops, in my opinion.
Hey, I think so too, honestly. Unless they were told, And if they were told, then that would have already came out, I assume. You know what I mean? If they were told, like, hey, boys, this is what we're going to do. Fourth quarter, we're going to get some young guys in. I know it's not going to make everybody happy, okay? It's not going to make everybody happy, but we have to do this looking ahead from our franchise. And if Doug Peterson did that to the team, I think the team would be like, okay, we hate it, obviously, because we would like film, but at least he told us the truth. Whenever it happened, I would assume there was a lot of, what the fuck? This is how we're going to go out on this terrible year. I guess it puts a good cap on it. The hilarious thing to me was those Giants fans not happy. Not happy. They win 6 games on a year. You know what I mean? They get a big win against Andy Dalton and the Cowboys last week of the season, and they're like, we deserve a shot, and goddamn Doug Peterson's fucking us over right now.
Yeah, them boys are hot, man. But like I said, the Philly, they could give a shit, man. And I mean, you pull Hurts. Maybe you pull him to get Nate in there, but also if that's going to be your guy going forward, why risk him getting hurt, I guess. But he wasn't playing great, obviously. Still gave him 2 touchdowns on the ground. Wasn't really slinging it right through the air. But, it's a decision that they made. We're going to move on and live with it. We got no choice. Down with the Giants. Saw Eli Manning and I think it was Fletcher Cox or somebody going back and forth on Twitter. That was funny. But, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Get over it.
Dan Orlovsky's entrenched in battle right now on Twitter. Yeah. And he's entrenched. I mean, this is like a every other week thing for Orlovsky. But anytime you get a tweet that has 5,000, 6,000 tweets, you're going to find the enemy of what you're saying. Okay? Like that.
Absolutely.
That is just whenever I was, a smaller Twitter account. Oh my God, I had so much more fun. I was just sawing things down. But then you get to a point where all of a sudden that group has a fan club, and then you have to make a decision on whether or not you want your mentions to just be, do I want to deal with this? You start weighing, the pros and cons of every tweet. So anytime you get a tweet that gets 5,000, 6,000 retweets, like Dan's note did, which, by the way, he did not decide to crop that down at all. He said, I'm going to let you know how the fuck I did this.
That was an emotional tweet, man.
Yeah.
That was fresh off the presses.
Look how much service I have. Look how much battery percentage I have. Okay, look at when this was typed up. I'm sending this whole goddamn thing just to let you know. And by the way, when you get that many retweets, that means a lot of people feel the same way you do, okay? But a retweet, it isn't as loud as the tweets that you're getting. So I feel like Dan potentially has been entrenched in battle. For me, the big takeaway is the Giants fans being pissed off was my favorite part of the whole thing. Like, I don't think I care enough about the Eagles to be like upset about them doing that in the fourth quarter. But if you're an Eagles fan or something like that, you can see how you could be mad, but you're going to forget about it tomorrow. You're like, whenever your draft pick happens, it's going to be like, oh, I got a good draft pick. All right, who cares what happened this last year? That's just the way the world is. Let's keep moving. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers look like a good football team, Darius. Did you get a chance to see them yesterday? AB got his money, by the way. A lot of coaches talk about it. They actually did it.
Loved it.
Loved that. But they seem to be getting hot at the right time, D-Butt.
Yeah, they're getting hot, man. You saw Mike Evans go down. We'll see how serious that injury is. Obviously, he's a big weapon for him. But Godwin went off. You get Ronald Jones running the ball right.
Godwin's really fucking good, by the way.
Hey, he is a baller. We knew he was nice, but getting healthy, getting on the same page with Brady down the stretch. AB getting on the same page with Brady down the stretch, getting him his money. And even if Mike Evans isn't able to play in this first game, you still got 2. Legit certified number 1 receivers out there. And you can't count out 87 either. Gronk is still Gronk, especially with 12. So the boys got hot at the right time, man. You know, it's all about getting hot going into the playoffs. And, they played some shitty teams down the stretch, so I won't get too carried away.
Why is everybody going to do that? Why is everybody going to do that, D? Everybody does that. I'll say something that compliments somebody, and I'll get, obviously, 13 D-butts on it. Well, that team fucking stinks. Of course he played well. That team is terrible. That feels like that is something that happens, but you never really know until you know. That's like the comment about the Packers, how they've beaten the same amount of above 500 teams. Like, they can't schedule that. That's not on them. It's just them getting good at football, but they're playing a team.
They did what they're supposed to do. Yeah.
The Washington football team, okay, obviously a hell of a story. You got exposés coming out. You got no goddamn name. Your head coach has cancer. Your quarterback doesn't have a shin. I mean, there is just unbelievable that they win. I mean, he doesn't, D, but it's a hamstring for a shin. They had to tighten it up. The guy, 17 surgeries. Alex Smith, congratulations.
Boy, Alex. Comeback player of the year for sure.
But this is not who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wanted to play, right? With that defensive line, this is not the squad that they wanted to play. I don't think.
Man, that D line is nasty, man. Chase Young, Sweat coming off those edges, and obviously that's how you beat this team. You affect the quarterback, you affect Brady. Chase Young coming out with the comments. Me and AB talked about it this morning. We love it. You coming out, you saying you want Brady, you're gonna get him, but you got to know what's on the other side of that. 12 is an assassin. So I've been his teammates, and he hears, he sees all of that shit, and I've been on both sides of it, up 35, down 35 against him, and he's cheering and fist pumping like he just made a go ahead touchdown in overtime. So it'll be a good game to watch, man. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about their front, how they respond, but it's going to be about that Tampa Bay run game. If they get that run game going, it's going to be an ugly matchup. That's kind of my sleeper on the NFC side as a 5th seed to make a run.
Tampa.
The Bucks. Yeah, it's crazy to say Tom Brady's a sleeper, but
yeah, I got a lot of money on him making the Super Bowl, but I feel like I bet it early as soon as he went down there. He was meeting with Bill Gates and all them fuckers.
Was that before Aaron Rodgers Tuesday?
Yeah, it actually was. It actually was, yeah. I also I bet on that as soon as Aaron Rodgers Tuesday got locked in, by the way. I like that.
They're looking good.
Hey, unbelievable right now. I mean, if it's not for the MVS drop, there's no momentum swing in that game at all. And the doors are just blown up. Now, MVS also had a touchdown, by the way. I'm not saying like he fucked it. You get it.
Yeah.
But that game against a good defense, Chuck's defense, I guess the internet experts that do the film study said that Chuck made a couple suspect calls. But I feel like when you're playing Aaron Rodgers, there's really not much you can do at this point.
Yeah, you just hope somebody gets home. You can make whatever call you want, but if he's on the same page with his guys out there, he's one of those guys that could put the ball wherever the hell he wants. And it's going to be tough to go through Lambeau and beat 12 with the season he's having, man. They better draft another quarterback in the first or second round next year.
Hey, D-Butt.
His playoff run, though.
D-Butt, you do numbers, dude. There's currently 38,000 people watching on YouTube. Whoa. Would like to let you know there has to be something better for you to be doing, but we're thankful that you're not. Thankful that you're. This is big for an Overreaction Monday. And we're not overreacting, by the way. These are facts, everything we're saying.
All facts.
All facts. Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen looks damn near arrogant at this point with the way he's playing football. That Miami Dolphins defense, by all counts, pretty good defense. He looked unbelievable. The Bills seem to, under McDermott's patience, right, and old Mr. Bean up there, they've grown I mean, that is a team up there. Now, listen, the Colts have great defense, okay? Jonathan Taylor is a dude. This is going to be a good game. But the Bills have to be very comfortable with where they're at.
Scary team. I would probably the hottest team going into the playoffs, I would say, especially on the AFC side. You got Josh Allen, obviously, who played Week 17. You look at the Steelers, they rested, which I don't think they should have. The Chiefs, they rested right before a bye week. We'll see how that turns out.
Stop. Why don't you think they should have rested?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
I mean, they played like shit down the stretch, man. They had a good second half against the Colts. I think they should have at least built on that, played the first half at least. Get your guys going, get some momentum going, and then maybe rest, once the game is in hand.
I thought so too, by the way. I thought so.
They didn't play well enough to they didn't have the luxury of resting their guys. But you got an old guy at quarterback who, you want to protect. And, I mean, you lost some obviously very talented pieces on defense already, Bud Dupree, Devin Bush. So, you don't want to get Watt hurt. So I get it from that standpoint. But we'll see.
D-But, we have to remember, week 4 bye week. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a, you know what I mean? That's a very early. So
not a real bye week.
And it wasn't really, they didn't even know until Friday or Saturday. Not that there was any real bye weeks this year anyways, but they didn't even know they were in a bye week till they were in a bye week. I felt like you, though. They learned how to play football again in the second half against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts might have collapsed there completely, which they almost did yesterday to the Jags, which unbelievable. But give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Let's pound that thing. I mean, he is a great player at this point. But the thought of, I don't know.
And that's got to be the recipe for the Colts, too, to beat.
But they learned how to play football again. And why wouldn't you just go out and get them? Now, they let the guys stay home. But my first thought was, let them go and just do like 2-3 more drives of we're all on the same page and then kind of move on. But then everybody was like, it was a week 4 bye week, though. And it's a tough situation. I trust Tomlin. Like, I think Tomlin has a pretty good feel of his team. But that's going to be something that people are going to talk about. If the Browns make this a real game, which they definitely can, by the way. Diggs, what do you got?
I was just going to say, like, if Ben gets hurt, you might as well not even play the game. Like, the Browns the Browns are going to blow out the Steelers in the playoffs. But I think Tomlin's smart enough to know that the Dolphins were going to get blown out by the Bills, so there was no chance to get up to the 2 seed. And you get to play the worst team in the AFC playoffs in the Browns next week when you would have had to play the Colts.
How about that shot at the Browns?
Big shot. Big shot. I mean, they barely beat old Mason yesterday, so I guess it's not a terrible shot. But if they get that run game going, that two-headed monster in the backfield, and play some good defense, they got a chance. But We'll see.
And
That should be a good game, though. Should be a good one.
Hey, Derrick Henry, and last one here before we let you go. Can't thank you enough, by the way, D. But all year, by the way, thank you for what you did for this show.
Thank you guys, man. Loved it.
No, we appreciate you so much. You made our show a lot better this year. Ravens, okay? Baltimore Ravens playing the Tennessee Titans. And Robert Griffin III tweeted me last night, okay? And he said, I don't know if you saw this. Did you? If you saw it, you can't wait for me to say it. And if you
I didn't say it. Just be news.
Okay, I asked one question whenever I put up the AFC playoffs picture. I said, who's happiest? Okay, who's happiest out of everybody in the AFC playoff with the way it was all set up? Obviously, Kansas City with a bye, Bills, Colts, Ravens, Titans. You get it, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. I said, who's happiest? Robert Griffin III answered and said, one team's pumped to get their bike back or something like that. And I was like, so I looked at it and I was like, have me and Robert Griffin III ever talked before? No. Okay. Was that an inside joke to something? No. And then we all came to the conclusion, obviously, somebody stole my bike. It's the Debo bike. That's what he's referring to with the Titans beating them last year whenever they were so hot. Then the Titans become this team out of nowhere, travel to Baltimore, get a win, get a lead on the Chiefs, and inevitably lose it. That's what Baltimore's trying to do this year. It does feel like it's a complete role reversal in that game.
Yeah, Ravens hot. I was probably the second hottest team in the AFC coming into it, man. Lamar's playing well down the stretch. Defense is playing well. Titans not so much. Outside of Derrick Henry, obviously, who cracked 2K. Big congrats to him. That was a big accomplishment. But, I think they get that bike back going into the playoffs. I don't know if I necessarily like hearing it from a guy who won't be out there. No shot at RG3, but I like, if you're gonna talk shit, I want you to be at least out there to back it up.
That's not like RG3's fault.
Young out there in Chocolate City.
Hey, that's not RG3's fault. He listen.
It's not his fault. Not his fault. But if you're gonna, this is my thing. If you're gonna put some bulletin board material out there, I got to be out there to back it up. That's just my opinion.
And that's why, by the way, once you become a kicker or punter, you can no longer talk shit, okay? And it was kind of frustrating. That's why Twitter became awesome, because some scrub would talk shit to me. And I'm like, ooh, I don't get to do this in my job, but I can definitely talk shit to this fucking guy. So then so that was kind of fun for me. RG3 said, I know who is excited for the chance to get their bike back. That's Baltimore Ravens. But I'll tell you what, they're trying to go get their bike from a guy that has rushed for 710 yards in the last 4 weeks. Derrick Henry has rushed for 710 yards in the last 4 weeks, right? That's
Yep.
He's rolling right now. That's the offensive line. Tannehill's taking shots. That's going to be a great matchup between those two.
Damn Texas, man. Like, come on, man. These end of the game situations with these defensive coordinators,
Explain, what do you mean?
Dude's getting the ball back. You saw the Dolphins-Raiders game, the Ravens. Used to be back in the day, the team gets the ball back with 25 seconds left, down whatever. That was pretty much game over going to overtime. Now it's like 50-50. Like, let me turn the TV up and see who's going to mess it up this week. So for them to make that quarters call, get beat, and let A.J. Brown get behind you to set up for a go-ahead field goal, that was terrible.
15 seconds? What, they have 15 seconds?
Yeah, if that. And I'm like, okay, this game's going to overtime. Come out, that's crazy, man. It's getting egregious at this point.
A lot of stupid calls, huh?
Terrible. I don't know, man. I might have to throw my hat.
You coaching? You getting into coaching?
I might have to get out here, man. It's getting. I hate watching the bad ball from the couch, man.
Okay, so because you would like to potentially change what's going on out there, because there's a lot of great football players potentially getting wasted by stupid play callers. Is that what you're saying?
Now, yeah, it's some very, very bad play callers out there, for damn sure. Maybe in the front office. I'll take front office.
Yeah, you don't have to day to day.
Yeah, front office, Jacksonville.
Yeah. Smart.
Let me reach out to some guys.
Put a suit on. Urban? Urban knows me. Ooh. I don't know if we've ever met, but I can put in a word.
Hey, do not. I don't know about y'all relationship, but I would not hire Urban Meyer. I just wouldn't do it. Not in the NFL.
Okay.
Hell no.
Hey, that was big right there, what you just said. 9-year NFL vet, man who is very well respected amongst his peers, host of the Man to Man podcast, Darius Butler says, do not hire Urban Meyer into the NFL. Is that real?
do not do it. I wouldn't do it
That's
if
our
if I'm
YouTube
making that shot. He's left the last couple places that he's been a mess. He wins at college programs. When you're recruiting some guys, you can build programs and win. But coming and dealing with professionals, I just don't know how that transition will work out with old Herb. But he's doing a good job on TV, though. I would suggest he stays there.
Don't worry about his health, too.
Ladies, because it's hard.
If you start losing and
some other stuff. There's some college coaches that, I've heard stories about some college coaches in previous stops in the NFL where they're like telling grown men, you can't talk on the bus, can't talk at meal, can't talk during travel. And these grown men being like, why don't you put your little fucking headphones on, all right? You won't even hear us, all right, pal? Why don't you
get your ass back up there in the front of the plane.
Ladies and gentlemen, host of the Man to Man Pod, Darius Butler. Thank you, T-Bud. That's real, too. But maybe he'll be able to adapt his communication style. But
that's right.
We can go back to the Rich Rodriguez story of he said he tried to change, and I only know one way. He quote tweeted that, by the way. And he said that coaching me prepared him to coach anything or anybody. I take that as a massive compliment. Let's get some phone calls, shall we, to wrap up the hour?
Hell yeah.
Ravens-Titans is going to be a hell of a game. What's the over-under on that?
It's got to be 80-something.
Oh, you think?
So much running.
I thought a lot of run ball, not a lot of plays.
54.5. It's the highest total of the weekend.
Okay, so I'm going with the under there. I think that is. I want to enjoy football, though.
Yeah.
Diggs was the
You
under.
did this last time.
What's that?
You took Ravens Titans under, and remember they scored. Or no, that was Browns Titans.
Oh, okay, thank God. How'd it go? Oh yeah, they fucking. Just like this, the Browns Steelers over under this past weekend went 246 over under is 44.5.
Son of a bitch.
Gotta be kidding me. Mason Rudolph, dude? What are you scoring for?
He had a couple in the bucket on the sideline, though.
Chase Claypool had a couple of big catches.
Yeah.
I thought he got benched, by the way.
No, he got hurt.
Yeah, but didn't whoever was announcing that was like, he wants to play or whatever, and he's telling him he's not having play time or something like that. And then those other two guys got in a fight, and they're like, see, they're fighting for time or whatever. It's like, is that what's happening, or are you just painting a narrative right now that could be completely false? Like those two guys fighting or whatever?
They were going to get out there.
Did you hear? I think it was our guy, Charles Davis. He was like, I have a theory. He was like, these guys both won reps or whatever. I'm like, that's a great theory. I hope that is what happened.
That's what Tomlin said pretty much.
That's what I would say too, but what if it wasn't? What if it was just like, fuck you, no fuck you? What if it was like just an actual fight? You know what I mean? It was very, that's our guy CD though. I assume he was like, what did Tomlin say? A couple guys peacocking?
Yeah.
We got a couple Gamecocks out there.
Correct.
He's the best.
He's not going to apologize.
Let's go to Nick in Iowa. What's going on, Nick?
Hey, happy Overreaction Monday.
Hey, happy Overreaction Monday to you as well, Nick. There is currently 41,000 people watching what you're saying right now, Nick. So let's go ahead and get on our T's and P's. Let's dot our I's. Let's cross our T's. Let's have a great question. This is the first caller on this Overreaction Monday. Nick, we need you to set the fucking tone.
Come on, Nick.
All righty. Quick shout out my boy Clayton at Costco.
Nick.
He just had to do it.
I'm not going to answer another call today.
How many times do you got to say it?
He just had to do it.
God.
I mean,
He got a fucking. Did he get a black card to Costco for that? If he did, congrats to him on a nice little hustle there. But I don't need that type of
he
shit.
better got 27 free churros for saying that it wasn't worth it.
Well, I got a black card at Costco, by the way.
Oh, how
got
about
my
that?
picture on it, the whole thing.
I mean, it's a great place.
It is a great place.
Got
Get
everything.
lost in there.
Uh-huh.
But I don't need you fucking shouting out some random Costco in Iowa, Nick.
Time and place. Time and place.
It's Overreaction Monday, and this is not an overreaction. This is a standard reaction. You do this shit on a Wednesday, I'll do the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Nick. Gus in Oregon. Can't wait. What's going on, dude?
Gus, a good name.
Hey, man, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. You sound great, too, Gus. We need you to save the
I'm
day.
excited to be on the show. I got a big brain move right here, all right?
Okay.
So don't want to overreact, but I mean, it's not an overreaction because the Detroit Lions have been dead for years.
Decades.
You got to revitalize the franchise. Jimmy Bezos, Seattle guy, needs to buy the Detroit Lions, move them to Portland, Oregon. And the first order of business is getting former resident of Beaverton, a suburb here in Portland, Aaron Rodgers, to be the quarterback when Green Bay kicks him to the curb. next year.
That-a-boy, Gus.
Whoa.
He says Jimmy Bezos buys the Lions, moves them back over to someplace, and then all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is his starter. Rest in peace to the Detroit Lions. Hello to New City Lions, which potentially win games as opposed to what the Detroit Lions do.
Portland Power would be awesome. And if we know anything about Oregon, I mean, they've got all the drugs out there. So the fans would be, I mean, they'd probably compete with Bill's Mafia throwing stuff on the
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the legalized meth over there would really get that crew up and at 'em. If you mix meth with mushrooms, which I would not, by the way.
No.
You don't really.
Be careful.
We have to
be careful.
I think they might actually even each other out.
We have to preface this. No. You do not.
We're not pro meth.
You would not want to do that. You should not do meth at all. But we're just talking about the said potential fans in an area where it has just gotten like basically like a speeding ticket if you have meth on you. Yeah. If those guys are showing up at a game, and we all know the Pacific Northwest fans are incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Get rowdy.
God, the Lions are not leaving Detroit. The more we talk about
There's probably Lions up there, by the way. Is there American Lions over there?
1,000%.
Oh, my God, the one that chased it?
Yeah. There's one of those.
Just like all the Wentz to Indy stuff. We need to stop talking about the Lions leaving Detroit because I get more nervous the more we talk about it.
It'd be easier to not talk about it if their fans didn't leave their goddamn team.
What was that move?
Season was over.
The Jalen Smith?
That was awesome.
I mean, it was.
I've been watching some mountain lions.
It was fantastic what he did. It was a Gates, right? Fuck you. That has to be a big fuck you on them. And both of them, by the way, holding back. No personal fouls here, but we're fine.
I'll do it.
That was awesome, dude. I should have done more of that in my career.
You should have.
Right up to the returner after a fair catch. That's what I fucking thought. And then just walk it off. That would have been amazing. Let's go to Tori in Philadelphia. I'm sure this will be pretty sane. What's going on, Tori?
Hey, Pat. How you doing?
Hey, not too shabby. How's Philly this morning? I'll tell you what, the shots of the city were beautiful last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's going pretty good in Philly. We got the Vitamins fired up. We got the Giants fans fired up. It's a good day.
Kind of a funny way to look at that. But I think that's our resident Eagles fan felt as well. Those fucking Giants fans. What do you want to talk about, brother?
I mean, just like, big swing and a miss on the brother there, but it's all right. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I just, Doug Peterson is just kind of a stooge at this point. Not really, not mainly just what he did last night, but just kind of how he handled the whole Carson Wentz situation throughout the season. I mean, he just really showed that he's kind of like just not a professional NFL head coach.
Tori, let's talk about the swing and the miss first. What did I do wrong? I would like to make it right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. I'm a trans individual.
But congratulations, by the way, Tori.
No offense taken. Like, you guys are fine.
I didn't see the she, her. That's on me 100%. Congratulations, by the way, Tori.
Thank you.
What do you think happens going forward? By the way, I did swing and a miss there, I guess. But I didn't see the pitch either. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, like, it was a pitch that came behind you out of left field when you're trying to play a minor league game. You know, you just couldn't see it coming.
Tori, okay, perfect. What do you think happens moving forward? Do you think Peterson's fired?
I don't think he is, just because Howie Roseman's kind of also fallen into the stooge stage. I think he should be fired, just because, like you guys were talking about with free agents earlier, like how can you, as a free agent, look at yourself sitting down in that locker room and that guy saying, yeah, we're going to go out there, we're going to try to win games, you know. Oh, it's that last game of that season, you got a bonus? Yeah, we're going to throw Nate Sudfield out there. He's going to get you that bonus.
Great point. I didn't even think about wide receivers potentially having to get just 15 more yards, Nate. Just throw us one screen, Nate. Please, God. The Eagles situation is a very interesting one.
Wild.
Very, 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 very interesting one. Because is Jason Kelce going to be there next year? What's his contract like? That's probably something we should look into.
Ertz is gone.
Ertz is gone for sure.
Ertz cried this morning, said how positive an impact Philadelphia had on him and everything like that. Remember, they allegedly got into blows before the season about a contract extension. He and Howie, I think. Ertz gone, Kelce gone. Might be a brand new Eagles squad, huh? Super Bowl Eagles. Hell of a run.
Nice job.
Thanks for what you did for the city.
That's right.
There's people eating horse shit around there because of what you guys did for the city. But we're moving on. You get Carson the hell out of here, too. Send him to any city but Indianapolis. Rest in peace to those Eagles. They had a fun run.
Good, yeah,
Now
awesome.
Doug Peterson has to rebuild. We'll see how that goes. That might not be true either. We're just kind of making that up. Yeah. We're back for hour 2 on the other side. It should be better than hour 1. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Monday, January 4th. If something happens one time, anomaly. Happens 2 times, it's like, oh, okay, maybe. But whenever there's a trend of 18 plus, 20 plus things being predicted, you got to go like, hey, Groening, the gig's up. We know. You're a time traveler.
Just tell us.
Bro, I just want to talk to you. I got so many questions. Siegfried and Roy tiger attack. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Do you remember back in the day how tight Siegfried and Roy were with their tigers? It was like every main story was like, oh, these tigers are the best behaved animals on earth, blah, blah, blah. Simpsons in 1993 said the tiger is going to turn. This little friendly tiger is going to become an enemy of Siegfried and Roy quickly, and it's going to happen. 2003, it actually happened. Autocorrect errors, 1994. Before you could even play Snake on the gray little box phone, they predicted that autocorrect will happen on your phone. Are you kidding me? Didn't happen until 2007. FaceTime, 1995. Not even a thought. I don't even know if anybody knew what the fuck the internet was.
Oh, that's
that little
right.
mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm. No,
What
do you
is
say to that,
internet
Allison?
anyway?
In 1995, they said, don't worry, you'll be carrying around a device where you will be face-to-face with somebody on the opposite side of Earth. 1995, they said that. 2010, it happened. Faulty voter machines. 2008, they predicted it. 2012, it became the forefront of conversation in a big, big way. I assume these voter machines have been up in question for a long, long time, but they just knew that it was going to come to fruition in 2012.
No, I want to vote for Obama.
2 votes for McCain.
Come on, it's time for a change.
3 votes for McCain.
The God particle. Now, this is the big one. Ty Schmidt did research. He said the God particle is the absolute reason why he is 1,000% a time traveler. Homer Simpson got up there like fucking Matt Damon in that movie where they have that
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting, and draws up this equation for what the God particle is, which what is the God particle?
Yeah, it's basically this equation that essentially like explains how the universe was created.
And they did that in 1998, and the exact equation happens in 2012.
That's unheard of.
14 years ahead of time. They got Homer Simpson up there looking like that goddamn janitor from Harvard, solving equations up on a chalkboard. And 14 years later, it's like, yeah, that's actually how the universe was founded. It's like, wait a fucking minute, little comedy writer with a goddamn yellow cartoon, bro. That's insane. The NSA spying scandal. Everybody knew that the Patriot Act was like in existence, but nobody had a clue that NSA literally knows everything about you. Every dick you've sent has been seen by some government agency, but it wasn't always like that. We didn't know that everything was getting spied on, Sean. Nobody knew that.
I didn't know.
They predicted that in 2007, 2013 it happened.
No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
Smartwatches, 1995, they said it would happen. 2014, they came to fruition. America's Ebola outbreak, 1997, they said it. 2014, do you remember when Ebola hit? It was like, it was literally...
Hospitals like shutting down.
Oh, they had people wearing like hazmat suits, carrying people around because they were scared Ebola was possible. In the modern world, this was happening. Years and years and years and years ago, Matt Groening said this is going to happen. The FIFA corruption scandal, 2014, they called it. 2015, it came all crashing down. Everybody knew they were getting their pockets greased, making decisions, sending a World Cup to a goddamn desert. Matt Groening said it's going to happen. It happened. Greece's debt default, 2012, they called it. 2015, it happened. So many countries out there, by the way.
They picked Greece.
The exact country to happen. Trump's presidency, 2000, they called it. 2016, it came to fruition. The Simpsons called this President Trump out there, and everybody probably looked at, oh, those Simpsons guys are so funny. Bang, 16 years later, it is about to happen. It goes down. Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime show, 2012, they called it. 2017. I mean, I think we all knew that she was born this way. She would probably get the halftime show at some point, but to the details that they had. These are not coincidences. Coincidenci. I don't know how you pronounce it.
How the fuck do they know this stuff?
It's
got to be time travel.
Matt Groening is a time travel. I have so many fucking questions. Disney's takeover of Fox, 1998, they said it. 2017, it happens. the Shard in London, which is a building behind Big Ben, I guess. Is that right?
Apparently, that's what Google search said.
1995, 2009, it comes to fruition. Robot Librarians, 95, they called it. 2016, it happens. The censorship of Michelangelo's David, 1990. 2016, it happened. Three-eyed fish from the fucking nuclear waste place.
In Japan.
Three-eyed fish comes to fruition in 2001. Mac Gronix did it in 1990. 9/11. 9/11. They called that happening. If you do recall planes going into buildings, they said it in 1997, 2001, it happens. The Syrian uprising, everything that's going on in the Middle East has all been talked about on The Simpsons. And then he created another show called Futurama. That is huge. He created another show like, yeah, listen, here's me rubbing it in the face that's where I could go if I have to. I have so many questions for Matt Gronick, and guess what, Matt Gronick? The gig's up. We know. I'm all in on you, Matt. And I'm a fan, by the way, aren't we? We're big fans.
I'm a huge fan.
If you want to travel to future me or current me or past me and say what's up, I think we would all be appreciated.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Overreaction Monday, January 4th, 2021. We have all survived the year 2020. Congrats to us. Hour 2 begins right now. Field Yates will be joining us in about 23 minutes to chat about all the news happening around the NFL, which is in abundance. There's firings happening, there's positions open, there's interviews taking place, and there's a massive super wild card weekend coming up with 3 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday. Our first hour callers, not bad. Not great. Right. Hoping that the callers this hour are much better. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. Cannot wait to chat with you. Also, we'll go through hashtag Pat, I don't want to overreact, but from all around the Twitter. We got up to the number 4 trending topic in the United States at one point. Thank you all so much for being a part of that. The fact that you guys watch, listen, whatever you do to this show, we are eternally grateful because we're just a small little regional operation trying to make it in this big world with a bunch of sharks out there.
That's right.
Antone Diggs, fresh out of his COVID cave. Congrats on surviving. How you feeling? And in the first hour, we talked about the Steelers. Was there any doubt that was dropped into your mind about this weekend's game against the Browns when Darius Butler said that he thought resting the boys was a bad decision? Darius Butler played for 9 years. Played in a lot of playoff games. He believes that resting the players after them just figuring out how to play football again against Colts in the second half of the Pittsburgh Steelers was a bad idea. How do you feel about it?
I feel good, thank you. In regards to this weekend's game.
Oh, you're talking about COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you started off.
Yeah, you had to address both. And by the way, thank you for doing that because there's a lot of people listening who might not know anybody that had COVID. Mm-hmm. And you're the first person that I've really encountered.
The face of COVID.
You are the face of COVID. By the way, in my life,
face of COVID survivor.
You are the face of COVID surviving. Mm-hmm. You are the immunicorn that I think of.
Well done, Tony.
Did you lose any weight? Was there any positives?
I got none of the positives.
Was there any? Does COVID not have any of the positives? Like mono, for instance. You're tired for a month, but you lose 40 to 50 pounds.
Yep.
It's terrible. It's not good. Flu, going to come out of the attic and the cellar, but you're going to lose 10 to 15 pounds. COVID, sounds like you were just tired and miserable, headache all the time, and no pounds lost.
No pounds lost.
That's fucking rude.
I didn't lose taste or smell, so I didn't have like the loss of appetite thing or whatever.
Oh, so you probably gained weight.
No, I stayed the exact same.
Oh, cool.
I'm at my peak right now.
Oh, your body's peak.
Yeah, where I cannot physically gain any more weight.
Got it.
Which is not, I'm not in a good spot.
Today, I thought I was going to wake up this morning and New Year, new me.
Oh, yeah.
New Year, same Pat in the morning, I learned.
Oh,
yeah.
Geez.
Couple snooze buttons.
Well, you forgot it was New Year, new me.
No, I knew. Go to bed last night. I even labeled the alarm like New Year, new me.
Yeah. Nice.
Did you change the sound?
Yeah. New sound, new song.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a little bit more upbeat song. I mean, there was a lot of opportunity and potential for me to change the way I live my life and change my lifestyle today because it is 2021. And maybe this is the trip around the sun that I'll be my most healthy. And I put out a tweet yesterday. It said, our diets all start tomorrow, right? So, and everybody agreed, yeah, they do. And this morning I woke up, I'm be honest, not strong enough. I don't think 2021 is the year that I'm going to be able to do this. Maybe 2022.
Monday's hard.
It's so daggum dark in the morning.
Yeah,
you get up and it's just like,
comfortable.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go back to bed. For a
My
couple
wife,
hours.
my wife got me 2 new pillows for Christmas, and they're the right pillows. I mean, it is pillows that my head liked. We got fresh. I mean, how am I supposed to wake up, golf 9 holes, pray, read the Bible, fucking meditate, and do everything that Mark Wahlberg and The Rock do at 4? How am I supposed to do it? They must not have the pillows that I'm sure they can afford. The pillows that I have. Why don't they? What happens? Why can't I just be that person in the morning that's up there meditating, woo-hawing the shit out of my life? That's what this whole New Year, New Me thing's supposed to be about. I just can't do it.
It'd be rude if you didn't use those pillows, though. You know, if you got out of bed and just decided to get right out. I mean, it'd be honestly a slap in your wife's face.
And we're in the honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
What if I started waking up earlier with her new pillows?
Oh, you don't like my pillows?
Yeah, I can't fucking sleep. How about that?
Oh, you don't like
Is
them,
that what
huh?
I'm saying to her right there? You're right. A lot of excuses, though, by the way. This is kind of what everybody does. This is what I do a lot.
No.
Yeah.
This is
all
real.
these-
No.
No, they're, by the way, excuses are real things. They're just reasons for why you didn't get something done.
Really good reasons.
Okay, so that's exactly what they are. So, excuses have kind of been painted in a negative light for a long time. Shouldn't be, right? Because it's just reasons why something hasn't happened. But all these reasons are things that I think about every single day.
They're legitimate.
But they just continue to win. And if you want to be like Mark Wahlberg in that fucking magazine or The Rock in those interviews, you got to start getting up at 4, meditate, pray, golf, work out, business meeting. That's what you got to do before 6 a.m. I just don't think I can do it.
Well, Wahlberg, The Rock, Cam Newton, all these people that get up very early, they all have those windows installed that when your alarm goes off, the fake sun comes through.
Oh.
So it's like it's later in the day and it's easier to get up at those times.
Your room is a fortress for sunlight, too. You need that to get up.
By the way, always have been. My life, my entire life, had a very small room that the house grew up in, just the way it was. That thing, I put a comforter over the window.
Ooh.
I would put things underneath the thing. It would be pitch black in there. I would be completely okay if my windows in my house were never open. My wife, very different. You know, she wants the window, the sun in there. I'd want blackout blinds every single window if possible. Just go ahead and bury me. I'll go live underground if I have to. And it is hard to wake up whenever there's no light out there. My wife does it. She's a morning. She'll get up. She goes gets coffee. She does a whole routine. She has a full thing and then comes back in. And I'm still laying there, like going through my phone and doing the whole thing.
That's wild.
It is wild.
You should get her some pillows.
Good call. Her pillow's probably not good enough.
What time does she go to sleep? She goes to sleep like 8:30?
Very early, yeah. She falls asleep early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a little different.
I mean, you were up watching the Washington football team dominate the Eagles.
Doug Peterson shut down all of New York. The metro area. I don't know where Giants fans live. I think they're New Jersey. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's a New Jersey team and a Long Island team, I believe.
Ooh. Oh, my God.
No,
Connecticut.
no. We have a Giants fan in the office, and he's kind of griping back there right now. Where are Giants fans from?
Well, the face started when you first said New Jersey.
Well, that's where. Right,
That's
where they play.
That's where they happen to play.
Okay, but that's where a lot of Giants fans are too, right? I think Jersey is Giants country.
Northern Jersey.
Yeah, in the shadows of New York City.
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's right.
WrestleMania in the shadows of New York
That was a great marketing campaign. Northern Jersey Giants fans. South, once you go south, it's all Philly.
Okay, so then Jets fans, those are more in the city, aren't they?
Jets fans are more like Queens, Long Island.
Okay.
Stooges.
And where are you from?
Long Island.
And you're a
But
Giants
I
fan.
grew up in the city. I'm a Giants fan.
Okay, but
oh well, that's weird though.
Because in the shadows of New York City, where they play,
That's where
they
in the
say
shadows.
that's where. Anyways, Giants fans, to get off of the geography issue, Giants fans were not happy last night. Okay, Giants players also not happy. Although I think a lot of things were in jest, but that Doug Peterson pulling Jalen Hurts thing will be talked about for what, a day or two, and then everybody will just move on. It'll in the combine. Whenever Doug Peterson's getting interviewed during the combine, it'll come up about is Jalen Hurts, and then all of a sudden a conversation that we'll have you could probably clip this right now and put it at the time. Remember when at the end of a game against the New York Giants, he said he wanted to get meaningful reps for Nate Sudfeld. Was that mean that he doesn't believe in Jalen Hurts as the future. Is Doug Peterson looking at a quarterback here during the combat? That'll be the entire conversation, and then it will move on again. It'll be talked about until we figure out what's going to go on with the Eagles, which I think is a complete rebuild. I think they're rechanging that entire team out. How are you going to trade Carson Wentz? Nobody has a clue. I just hope he doesn't come to the Colts, but I would assume that whole team's going to be brand new. Gumpy, you got something?
Yeah, if you put the Cardinals-Rams as that Sunday nighter, we're not even talking about this, Pat.
Yeah, I agree. It's during the day. Nobody really cares except for people in Philly and New York. It would garner a little bit of a conversation, but it wouldn't be the main talking point because it's Sunday Night Football. Last game of the NFL's 2020 regular season, the primetime game with, by the way, Collinsworth and Michaels going, what the during the day. You know what I mean? There's a lot of eyes on it, and that decision was made, but it will be talked about until they figure it out. But it feels like the Eagles are doing a rebuild.
And it's not just Giants fans that are mad. ESPN Sal Paolantonio went on the Dan Patrick show and said that Roger Goodell and the NFL need to open an investigation on the Eagles' decision to pull Jalen Hurts.
So would they pull audio? How do you do an investigation on this?
Yeah, probably, right?
There's no way that's recorded.
Figure out what they were talking about.
Well, should they launch an investigation of the Bills for pulling Josh Allen?
Well, I guess he would be mic'd up. Doug Peterson would have a mic on.
Yeah.
Imagine if he's under his little score thing. This game's getting a bit too close, boys, huh? Don't you think? 4th and goal going for it. What play won't fucking work? What if he's on a mic underneath the thing with that? You know what I mean? And then what do you get Jalen the fuck out?
What's Sudfeld doing?
Sudfeld. Well, I said I was going to play him earlier, right? Yeah, that's what I said, right, boys? Yep. Yeah. Well, fucking put that guy out there. How many completions does he have? None? All right. What's he going to do? Oh, he's going to throw a pick first play, and then he's going to fumble it too. That's exactly what we want. Put him fucking out there. No, you're in. Yeah, Jalen, sit the fuck down. Change your mask too. That one doesn't match. He went from cheap mask to good mask there because he was going to be on the sideline there. And then Carson Wentz is sitting there on the sideline like, I fucking told everybody this guy's trying to lose. He was setting me up for failure, but I'm owed $700 million. You're not going to be able to.
4th and 1, jump off sides.
Is that how they'll have to? Is that how they're going to invest? How is Sal Powell, who's been around a long time? Where did he say this at? On ESPN?
That was on Dan Patrick show.
Hey, congrats, Dan Patrick OG, by the way.
There you go, Dan.
We're big Dan Patrick show fans around here. Whenever I used to go on that show, I used to consider it like a big morning. Like if I was ever asked to go on, I'm like, get to go on DP show here. Here we go. He also helped us out a lot. That's great. Sal Paolantonio, though, never met the guy, never talked to the guy. He wants a full investigation. He's Philly, isn't he? He's a Philly guy?
Oh, yeah.
He bet probably, I would assume.
He probably wants Peterson out.
Oh.
Got to assume clean house over there.
Sal Paolantonio is the Bezos of Philly.
Yeah, basically.
Bezos trying to get Snyder out.
The Jimmy Bezos.
Sal Powell's like, listen, I'm hiring all my investigative journalists, and I'm sending them right into NFL Films over there in Philadelphia to hear, because that's where NFL Films is, by the way, right there. I could probably get all those clips. Full investigation.
How the hell are they going to get rid of Carson Wentz? Is he going to give back $20 million? Some people are saying that.
Who said that? Tannenbaum said that or something, right?
Oh, he's a genius.
Tannenbaum, whoa, take it easy.
Tony.
He's only ruined like
That
3
guy
franchises.
splits the atom every day.
All right. Okay. So it seems like the opinions of the boys here are not very high on old Tannenbaum.
Hey, I don't know.
I don't know Tannenbaum that well. I have got a text message from him after I talked about him stating that if he was a Miami Dolphins GM, you could never draft Tua after allegedly hanging out with the Dolphins or whatever. He seems like a nice guy to me, but you guys not happy at all with old
Well, he
Tannenbaum.
started spinning a narrative that if the Eagles and Wentz both wanted out of the situation, that Wentz would be willing to give up or basically write a $20 million check back to the Eagles to help alleviate the cap concerns to get out of it. Who in their right mind is going to pay $20 million back to the team to get out?
And this is what we were talking about with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt Ryan's owed legitimately $90 million over the next 3 years, guaranteed. And if the Atlanta Falcons were to move on and try to go a different direction, trading Matt Ryan might be a bit difficult. Not because Matt Ryan isn't worthy of starting in the NFL, which, by the way, I'm not having that conversation right now. He is, obviously, he does good, but probably not a team that's going to win it all at this point. But who knows, maybe in the right system. But the things that are coming with, you see the baggage. You know what I mean? Like the baggage that's coming alongside. And the baggage isn't anything off the field negative or distraction. It's just a shit ton of your salary cap has to go to this person. So the rest of your team is kind of fucked. The same thing with Carson Wentz. His baggage that's coming alongside of him is a lot of money. A lot of of people coming after me yesterday for saying, can we please stop the Carson Wentz to the Colts talk? A lot of people coming at Philadelphia Eagles fans. It's a perfect situation for both sides. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk from my side, okay? Okay? Don't talk. It's a perfect situation for your side. You get Carson Wentz out of there and that contract out of there and no more drama. And the Colts are a good team. So if you like Carson Wentz, it's like, oh, he's going to a good team. We're happy for him as well. Maybe that's but for us, do the Colts just want to pick up that massive contract because he and Frank Reich had success in the years past? I don't think. Now, granted, I'm not making these decisions for a reason. Chris Ballard has made a lot of great decisions. Who knows how this team's going to do, the Colts, by the way, because with that run game, if they can continue to run like that, they can beat anybody. That's, kind of the way playoffs are. Buffalo Bills are a hot team. Excited to watch the game. But the Colts could go and run. Phil Rivers could go and run. He's maybe the next Tony Romo, they're saying. Executives, old whites that have made a lot of great decisions on television in the past and currently making good decisions. They say Phil Rivers is potentially the next Tony Romo. And he's already a head coach at a high school in Alabama, Hoover, Alabama, or something like that. So the thought that Phil Rivers might move on is very real. I think we all very much understand that and are okay with that. I think Colts fans, though, myself included, are like, if we're going to pay a shit ton of money for somebody, like elite level money for somebody, we might as well go and try to get, maybe somebody that has proven in the last, 13, 14, 15 months that they're an elite quarterback because, we're just banking on him being not broken anymore whenever he comes out to Indianapolis. And I think this is what a lot of teams are thinking, by the way. Whenever you hear, there's several teams interested in trading for Carson Wentz, is that from Carson Wentz's people that are also saying that his relationship with Doug Peterson is fractured beyond repair? Or is that actual teams and maybe low-level people that say, we'd be interested in it? Because that money, unless he was to give up that type of money, which I don't know why you would, okay? Just like Carson, or just like Matt Ryan, I don't know why he would change out of that $100 million contract. That's the only way I could see a team really wanting Carson Wentz. And aside from the Colts, who have Frank Reich, I don't think there's any team that would even consider doing that with that deal. I might be completely wrong here, but I just don't see that whole thing working out like everybody's expecting it. Oh, they'll just trade Carson. He'll go start somewhere else. It's like, where? I don't know if that's going to happen.
No, especially for that money. If you're looking for a quarterback that last time he was good was 2018, you might as well just get Dewey Haskins for he's a lot cheaper.
That's a good idea.
True.
If Carson's preacher, Frank Reich, tells him, hey, write that check, $20 million, we'll come pick you up, then is there a thought?
You got to pay tithes, dude.
Yeah.
You got to pay tithes.
You got to pay tithes. And also, last I checked, John Deere, equipment has not gotten any cheaper. He's got a lot of new toys he wants to buy for his farm. So,
what is
combines, et cetera, et cetera.
12 gauges. Those prices are only going up.
You and old Carson's Instagram have quite a relationship.
I've just never seen anything like it. The guy plays like shit on Sunday. You can bet your ass on Monday he's pitching some new Z-turn mower that him and his brother, got on the farm, and they're loving it, and the pups love it. And
by the way, Philadelphia people added that in that's why Indiana would be great for him. It's like, that's not the quarterback I would like on my team.
Ballard has been saving that cap space for years, waiting for the right fit. The right cultural fit in the locker room.
Who?
Ballard.
Oh, I thought you said some other team has been doing that. No. There's no reason. Let's get Matty Stafford in here. Get Matty Stafford. Get Matty Stafford in here, okay? And everybody, I got a lot of tweets earlier. Matty Stafford was surrounded by a lot more talent than Carson Wentz was ever surrounded by. It's like, okay, fucking relax. Maybe Matty Stafford made talent. You ever think about that because of how talented he was? You talk to any Lions. Now, granted, they're stooges, but
they are.
Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Most of them.
Not all of them.
The one we got.
The one we got. The Lions fan that we got is a complete stooge.
Yes.
So, but if you listen to them, they're like, Matty Stafford deserves to go to a good team. And it's kind of how Philly team fans feel about Carson Wentz. But if you turn on the film, Matty Stafford is slinging it. He's not mentally broken like Carson seems to be right.
I promise you the Lions would have went 0-16 if Stafford wasn't the quarterback.
That
Lions defense let up more points this year than the 0-16 team did.
Fucking go get Matty Stafford.
Bring him home.
He doesn't know Frank. He doesn't know Chris.
Nope.
He don't really know anybody. But, man, if he could play the football.
I can't imagine him with a run game and a defense. That's never happened in his 11 years or whatever.
And, by the way, that Colts defense, they're going to give up some yards, okay? You're going to watch that Colts defense. You're going to see them give up some yards, and you're not going to know why. But they are going to make a big play. They are opportunistic bunch. Now, that's just like an NBA team or a basketball team that only shoots threes. Whenever you live by the opportunity popping up or the opportunistic style defense, every once in a while there's a chance that's not going to show up, and you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're going to get run out of the building.
But the Colts defense has been, more often than not, very opportunistic at prime times. Now, granted, a couple collapses there against the Steelers, and then and Mike Lennon.
Ooh.
Jeez. What happens?
Mike Lennon.
That happens.
Yeah, the Sky Cam will get you.
I mean, that's his last game he'll ever play in the NFL.
Do not say that.
Kill Mike Lennon.
That's what you think.
You can't kill Mike Lennon.
I thought so, but Nathan Peterman didn't play a snap this year, so
Hey, by the way,
they can be killed.
By the way, Nathan Peterman, I will say it seemed like he was trying to kill his career faster than Glennon was.
Yeah.
Glennon, I met him whenever I was calling a Thursday night game down at NC State. He was drinking a beer. Super good guy, by the way.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that is understood. Whenever we talk about people, we're not talking about them as humans, unless we specifically say scumbag.
Yeah. Right.
We're talking about strictly football play. And the Colts almost lost to fucking Mike Lennon yesterday in the second half. That can't happen. No. That can't happen. All right, boys, we got to tighten it up.
Joe Dirt.
All right, let's fucking, what was his name? Ragnar? What's his name?
Might as well be.
It's Joe Dirt for me.
Bro, this dude is a baller. Okay, I've only seen him play 2 times, and it's against Colts first game and against Colts the last game. This guy is a fucking This might be the next Troy Polamalu.
Stud.
Who?
Andrew Wingard.
Andrew Wingard.
There it is.
This guy is a force on the defensive side.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody else talk about him. Joe Dirt put us to sleep in the first game, okay? Lost me a lot of money.
Yeah.
That was my first super boost of the year, by the way. Kind of set us on a path of kind of potential hit or miss on it. This guy put Philip Rivers to sleep week 1 when we all thought they were tanking. Now, they did earn the number 1 overall pick and successfully tanked.
Yeah. Good job, Jags.
But they started with a fucking off-speed pitch with the win against the Colts, and it was because of this guy. And in the last game, this guy's all over the place. I don't know who's going to be the head coach, whether it's Urban Meyer or whatever they got going on down there in Duval. Pay this guy $200 million.
Yeah. Put him at QB. Hell.
Hey, put Ragnar at QB. Yeah.
Jags did a hell of a job flying under the radar this season because the Jets took all the credit for the worst team in the league.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think the Jags are probably much worse.
And by the way, and then the compliment is how good Trevor Lawrence looked in their uniform. So, like, they sucked all year. Nobody talked about it because they beat the Colts early. They're not tanking. They beat the Colts. And then they immediately go into the suck. And then they stay under the radar, and then the next thing that pops out is the Jets are stupid, the Jags are smarter than they are, and look how good Trevor looks in a Jaguars jersey. I mean, it was incredible work by Shad Khan. And whenever there was rumors of Urban Meyer becoming a head coach, Doug Marrone, who's from the Bronx, so he's got some callous, he's been around. Don't be fooled by the teams that he coached. He's still Doug from the Bronx.
Ooh.
Remix him and J-Lo from the Bronx. He's a tough guy or whatever. But he asked Shad Khan, he said, hey, there's rumors out there that you're going to hire Urban Meyer. And Shad Khan goes, news to me.
I don't know about that.
Jaguars are awesome. There's no way they hire Urban, right? Probably, huh?
I think so.
No, I'd listen to Darius.
And if they got Ragnar running around and Trevor Lawrence, who has had one game where you think probably not the guy.
You're going to shave the stash.
What are you saying? Was somebody saying more than one game? Is that you, Gumpy?
He loves Fields.
Well, by the way, he's not the only one. All the quarterback people that I remember last year, whenever I was traveling around calling games, you meet a lot of like college coaches, whether it's like Elite 11 coaches or scouts or anything like that, and you talk to them about it. And it was probably 4 or 5 games last year where I said, listen, when you talk to the people that say they know quarterbacks, that dude in Ohio State is the guy or whatever. And then you saw him in that Big Ten game, not great. He didn't have any of his weapons, I guess, but not great. And then you watch him in the fucking Fiesta Bowl or Sugar Bowl, whichever one. He was unbelievable. He was absolutely unbelievable. I'll be intrigued to see how those two pan out because if you look at Air Bear right now, okay, he's balling. Joe Burrow, he's got Zach Taylor back for another year. There's an overreaction tweet that is, we'll save it, Foxy. We'll save it for whenever we get in there. It's from a Cincinnati fan, and it is. It is stuff there. But maybe Justin Fields and Trevor are the 2 next guys to go here. Maybe they go. You know what I mean? And maybe, what if Justin Fields, because Urban Meyer's tied to Ohio State, goes to Jacksonville down there if Urban Meyer takes over that?
Hey, if Urban gets hired in Jacksonville, it's only an hour away from Gainesville. You automatically fill seats if you're Shad Khan with all the Gator fans that love Urban Meyer.
Do they?
Yeah.
I know Ohio State fans love him.
I mean, he won national championships there. I assume they love him.
They do.
What year is it, Tony?
Yeah, but he only reps Ohio State. He doesn't rep Florida ever. You know what I mean? Like he's still on the sideline with a whistle at Ohio State games. I don't know if he's. We got to get to a break. Field Yates is on the other side. What song you guys want me to play? Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Ooh, nice.
Good choice by you guys. All right, Field Yates is on the other side. Urban Meyer to the Jacksonville Jags. Will he take Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence?
Wow.
Who will be the better pro, Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields? Who will be a better coach, Urban Meyer or Dan Campbell? People are wondering. 25 minutes into hour 2 here. Field Yates is on the other side. 44,000 people watching. Don't know why. Once again, new year, probably got some better shit to be doing. But thankful you're spending the afternoon with us. Yeah. Field Yates of ESPN, who actually had cookies and milk every single day of his high school career.
That's right.
Up in
Belmont Hill,
which is
in Belmont, Massachusetts.
Cookies and milk every day.
Cookies and milk.
11 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
Could you imagine if Tim McAfee found out
you and your peer leaders
that me, Diggs, Nick, we're getting cookies and milk every day?
Uh-huh.
My dad would smack me in the mouth.
Might march on the school.
Don't even tell me what Frank would do. Frank Morano would be like, get the fucking cookies. I'm not paying taxes for fucking cookies for my kid. Coach Diggs would be like, hey, getting fat. Diggs, you got all them cookies and milk.
They're paying more than taxes to send them there, too.
Hey, I sent out a tweet last night. Who are the Jets hiring? Wrong answers only? A lot of Coach Diggs.
Oh, really? Nice.
Should be a right answer. Maybe turn that whole place around, Coach Diggs. It's the Pat McAfee Show. Field Yates on the other side.
He's saying don't go off the top. It's too shallow.
See that belt buckle?
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up, they start shaking it, they go, whoa. Hey, what things are going, look, Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis. Okay. Hey. Yeah, Boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of Boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able to. What sign am I going to make for college game day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. You're headed right for the boat. Right now? Okay, let's do it. We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go! The poop kicker's getting way down here. A lot higher than I thought.
You look like Ric Flair.
That was a sellout, by the way. That was beautiful.
Do we have any other shirts? Yeah, hold on.
You need to go get changed before you get sick.
Great work, bro. I'm actually not that cold. Hey, I went for it. My chest hurts. It was like 5 feet. I was standing there. That's full commitment, by the way.
I didn't think I could continue to be an FCC regulated person without really hitting my max potential.
And that's why he's with us. I love it. The Pat McAfee Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Oh, yes! Had to do it. Had to do it. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. Here on this Overreaction Monday, January 4th, 2021. Wow. Say I had to go. There's a place I had to go. Oh. Welcome back to the show. We got to join. No, we don't have to join anything. We got a guy joining us.
Ooh. There it is.
He's joining us.
Okay.
By the way, going to be an interesting pool to jump right into, by the way. Not a bad show we've had thus far. Mm-hmm. We've covered damn near everything, but a man who's definitely going to add to it, probably has some inside information, probably has a bigger brain than any of us and all of us combined. Ladies and gentlemen, probably not tied, but ladies and gentlemen, Field Yates. Field, how's it going?
Not sure my brain is that big, but I appreciate the kind words as always.
Well, you always come on this show and say smart things. So for that, I thank you, obviously. Field, a lot of job openings, okay? We're getting our tips from people on who's going where. You're getting your tips from people on who's going where. The internet has theories. What is a head coaching location and a guy you think, or woman, by the way, who is locked in, you think? Is it Urban Meyer to Jacksonville? Is it Dabo to the Chargers because Tom and him went to high school together? Who do you think is a basic virtual lock at this point, Field?
Yeah, I'm not totally sold that anybody is a virtual lock as of yet. Okay. I think what you're saying is both sensible. Both those things make a lot of sense based off of the connections you laid out. I think what ends up happening with the coaching search is that more frequently than not, there's one domino that kickstarts the rest of the process and it allows the other pieces to fit. In some ways, it feels like Jacksonville is the first domino this year, only because not only is it a head coach and a general manager vacancy, but there's allure for this job that maybe it doesn't otherwise normally have. Number one pick in the draft. They have a ton of needs, obviously, on that roster, but you have the potential to draft Trevor Lawrence. You've got tons of money in free agency. You've got extra draft capital going forward. Jacksonville feels like it could be kind of the first domino to fall. But because none of the dominoes have fallen yet, I'm not prepared to make any sort of virtual locks. I do like your two hypothetical matches there, both Urban Meyer in Jacksonville and also Brian Daboll in Los Angeles, which I think there's a case to be made that the Chargers job is the most attractive right now of the 6 openings.
Is that because of Air Bear and how incredible he looked and also the team that's around there? That D-line is obviously stout, and they just came off 4 wins. And if you look back earlier in the year, if they handled situational football, they might have 7 more wins. They might be like an 11-win, 10-win team at this point. Excited to see who gets where. Let's go back to the Jags with Urban Meyer because it's so intriguing. How did his name come about? Because remember, he was with Washington, a year ago in a suite sitting next to Alex Smith, and everybody's like, oh, here he goes. Dwayne Haskins is here. How you doing? Keep it moving. Now it's coming out that Urban Meyer's thinking about asking for $12 million a year to coach in the NFL. And if he was to go to Jacksonville, do you think Justin Fields is drafted over Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville because of the obvious Ohio State ties there?
Yeah, I think I'll start with the second part of that question, Pat. I think that it's going to be Trevor Lawrence, no matter who is the head coach or the GM in Jacksonville. And I feel like that's actually kind of a cold take, right? Like, nothing about that is going out on that much of a limb. You've got so much momentum for Trevor Lawrence over 3 great years at Clemson, lost a total of 2 games in which he started for them. And it wasn't like they lost games that were totally out of nowhere, right? I mean, losing to Ohio State was surprising last Friday night, but as we know, Ohio State's a very, very good team. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to wind up as the Jaguars quarterback no matter who they hire. As far as why Urban's name is popping up right now. So first of all, he's entered, left, and re-entered the coaching market before, right? He has retired from coaching and then re-emerged at Ohio State.
Health.
And while we don't see, at least not frequently, guys who master the pro game and decide to then want to try the college game on for size, we do see this frequently. There's been some level of success for some guys and then others not so much. Seems like Matt Rule is on the right track in Carolina despite not a ton of wins this year. But then we've seen the glaring failures at the pro level, from the Bobby Petrinos to the Chip Kellys to the Steve Spurriers of the world.
Sabins.
And Urban's got a ton of leverage right now. He kind of reminds me of John Gruden in this regard, that no matter what year it is, no matter what jobs are open, until Urban Meyer takes one of these jobs, he's going to be one of the most frequently speculated upon coaching candidates. And because of the respect he has at the college level, at the pro level as well, he's not going to take some middling job. If there are 6 jobs open like there are this year, and you were to stack them and it was clear that 1 or 2 of them is at the bottom of the pile in terms of desirability, Urban Meyer's not going there. He's going to take the crown jewel jobs. And if you believe enough in Trevor Lawrence and you believe enough in, frankly, yourself, then you think this Jacksonville job is pretty enticing. You have the first pick. You're in a division that's got really, really good quarterbacks right now, but you don't have Patrick Mahomes, which is probably the biggest, I would say, wart on the Los Angeles Chargers gig, is just the idea that you're going to have to compete with Patrick Mahomes probably the next 12 to 15 seasons.
Yeah, you got Derrick Henry, obviously, for the next couple of years, and Deshaun Watson always showcases his incredible ability, and hope to God not Carson Wentz, and instead Matty Stafford in Indianapolis. But if Urban was to go to Jacksonville, I'd be intrigued to see how that plays out, because the way Urban coaches, from what I've been told, I don't know how well that would translate into the NFL, a la the previous college coaches who have had failures. But if he's a good coach, he can coach anybody. Now, I do have to correct you in one point. John Gruden and Urban Meyer, their names were always up for coaching jobs, You know who the original was? Bill Cowher.
Bill Cowher.
That's right.
Yeah,
but
Pittsburgh guy.
He was loyal to Pittsburgh forever, right?
Yeah, Bill Cowher. Yeah, he was going to be the coach of the Panthers at one point.
Yeah.
He was going to be coach of the Bills at one. He was on like 10 different jobs at one point, and his name was just. He was just floated out for the Jets here recently. Old Bill Cowher, good for him. Field. Who and where is Josh McDaniels going? Is he going to be a head coach? Who are some people you think whose names have not been talked about? Because this year, it's obviously Dabble. Obviously, Urban's name is up there now. Bieniemy's name is hot in the streets. Dan Campbell is out there. There's a lot of names out there. Is Josh McDaniels on the block? Is he going somewhere? Or you think he remains in New England and they figure out how to win football games again next year and rebuild an entire place?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he's a head coach this year. And we actually had this conversation on your show before, not about McDaniels, but about a different guy who I never understood how Matt Eberflus 2 years ago was the top candidate for head coaching jobs. And then last year, during a year where, as you know incredibly well, it wasn't Eberflus's woes that held the Colts back. It was that they dealt with the surprise retirement of Andrew Luck 3 weeks before the season, and they had a quarterback issue in 2019. Eberflus falls off the radar last year. Now he's back on it this year. And I'm thinking to myself, like, the guy was a good coach 2 years ago. He was a good coach a year ago. He's still a great coach now, which, by the way, I think he'd be a really, really smart hire for somebody. I'm sure Colts fans don't want to hear that. But,
anybody but Carson wants to hear. Just stop that.
I hear you. And I think there's some thoughts there about Stafford and Wentz in a moment. But so I think Josh McDaniels has not changed dramatically as a head coach. I think that we on the outside put a disproportionate amount of weight each year on things like top scoring offense, top scoring defense, hot play callers, which it's interesting only because we have seen this now for decades. The NFL is constantly turning over jobs. Not rarely, but it is certainly not that uncommon where a guy is the hot head coach candidate and a year or 2 or 3 years later, he's fired. So I think if you believe in a guy, 1 year, one down year, shouldn't dissuade you from being interested in that person a year later or 2 years later, a la Eberflus, a la Josh McDaniels.
Michael Lombardi, former GM, says that you don't get hired, you get like elected almost. Because
that's exactly right.
There's always like, campaigns, it feels like, on the internet. And then you got these third-party councils who are making decisions for billionaires because billionaires don't know enough about their own product to make decisions for themselves. It feels like there's always those interesting things. Let's move to the Carson Wentz conversation now. Yesterday, I think it was you guys that reported, and by you guys, I mean the ESPN Insider crew, which, by the way, great work this season. We appreciate all that you've done.
Nice job, Phil. That's Shefty and Mort right there, carrying the heavy weights this season, as they always do.
All right, good team guy there. Good team guy there. But anyways, the relationship with Carson and Doug Peterson is fractured beyond repair. allegedly. He's going to ask for a trade. Then Tannenbaum, peer of yours at ESPN, says Carson Wentz might be willing to negotiate $20 million so that he can get traded. Is his hate for the Eagles worth $20 million a year from Carson Wentz? Is that real? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I think what Mike was suggesting is that Carson Wentz could essentially have a trade in place with a different team. Prior to that trade being executed, he would agree to reduce his salary or pay back $20 million that he has been previously paid from the Eagles, which from their standpoint makes the trade much more palatable on the salary cap. But part of the trade would also include that whoever it is that's acquiring Carson Wentz would immediately sign him or give him a $20 million signing bonus. So I don't believe that Carson's really coughing up any money here. It just makes the trade a lot more executable, if that's a word, for the Eagles, because as we know right now, it's one thing to want to trade him. It's another thing to want to trade him and have a massive, like historically large dead cap hit on their salary cap if they do so. I think it's an interesting conversation. Carson Wentz last December, as in 2019, was unbelievable. I mean, he was the guy that kept Philly afloat when they had injuries all over the roster. A year later, he, despite not playing the final 4 games this year, still was tied for the NFL lead in interceptions, led the NFL in turnovers, took the most sacks in the NFL with 50. He was a broken player this year. But GMs and coaches, by nature, I think are sort of appropriately confident, maybe not arrogant, but confident that they can believe, like, a GM or a coach that's acquiring Carson Wentz is going to basically rewind past 2020 and look all the way back to 2019 and say, I can make this guy what he was again last year.
Why?
2 years ago, I should say now.
Why would
I can make him that player going forward.
Are those the GMs that get fired, or are those like the good GMs that say that?
There's a reason why there's so much turnover every year, right? I was thinking about this, though, because I know part of the reason why you don't want them to pursue Carson Wentz. I'm assuming your preference A would be Phillip Rivers to return for another year.
I'm cool with Phil coming back. Yeah, I like Phil.
And then door B would be Matthew Stafford. Right?
Bingo! Give me Matty Stafford. I don't think his contract is anything what Carson Wentz is demanding. He hasn't really had a team. We got a team. We're right down the road. I mean, come on. You still got family or friends in Michigan. It's right there. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard, and I apologize for not if you discussed it already earlier, about what you thought about how the Eagles handled last night. But the player that I was thinking about last night when the Eagles are trotting out Nate Sudfeld for an evaluation is, by the way, which is funny in and of itself, beyond the fact that he's their third-string quarterback, I believe at the beginning of this year, he took a pay cut from them.
Smart.
Like, they made him restructure his contract. So, like, how much you evaluate? Like, didn't you already evaluate him? Like, you decided you needed to have him reduce his money. Anyways, I digress. What do you think Matthew Stafford's thinking? Matthew Stafford's playing with, like, it's like limbs are hanging on by a thread. And he's like, not a single person would have held it against Matthew Stafford if he was like, you know what, guys? He woke up on Sunday morning, week 17, was like, I'm good. I love you guys. I'm good. Good luck, Chase Daniel. Instead, the dude played, and he played as he has all year, lights out. They didn't win, but I tend to think that if I'm a team this offseason looking for a quarterback that's not in the draft, not in free agency, I don't know how Matthew Stafford's not the top of the list.
Bingo! Yep. Bingo! Hey, Field, listen, you had cookies and milk every single day at high school. I did not. That big brain of yours is right on with mine. That makes me feel very, very smart. And listen, and the thing about Matty Stafford is a lot what you just mentioned. It feels like he is a mentally tough dude. Like there's no picking up the pieces, right? Like Carson Wentz, you could be pissed off all you want that they drafted in the second round. You just got paid. Whatever, that's cool. Like Carson Wentz, I think he's a good quarterback. Are we just willing to bet what his salary is going to be that he's just not going to get broken again if something else happens? It's like a very interesting. And Matthew Stafford, his body's broken, and he'll go out there and sling that thing for $350 just get us Matty Stafford in Indianapolis. Let's go. We need another weapon. T.Y. is going to be on the market. Michael Pittman Jr. is getting hot. Jonathan Taylor's playing good football, but we're off and running. Buffalo Bills look to be incredibly hot. 6,700.
Oh, no. It was a poor connection, not a call.
Yeah, so it's not like he's going to break news.
Thought maybe.
That would have been.
Maybe he just found out where Stafford's going.
What if Stafford's people are like, keep pushing that?
Yeah. Let
Hey,
him know.
keep pushing that Field.
Another team I kind of just popped in my head.
We lost him. We hope he's all right, by the way. Hope he's all right.
What about San Fran for Stafford?
Oh, that'd be too good.
Obviously, you want him here, but
But imagine Stafford and the Saints.
oh, jeez.
yeah.
You know
Can
what I
they
mean?
afford it with their negative $50 million
Hey,
cap?
well, Drew Brees is going to be. Let's go to Field.
I'm back.
Hey,
I
it's
hate
good.
the internet.
I love it. It's where we work. But I understand the tech can be a little bit of an issue, but we're happy you're back. Drew Brees, this is his last year. He's done after this. He's going to NBC. Who takes over? Taysom Hill will be the only one. Is Matty Stafford going down to the Saints? Will Sean Payton get into that world?
Yeah, I just heard the very astute note about how the Saints are like $50 million in the red in terms of salary cap space next year. I think probably the Saints are going to be, if not Taysom Hill, they're going to have to be sort of bargain hunters in the quarterback market next offseason. And we saw last year that there were bargains to be had. Now, it's not that Jameis Winston played a lot. It's not that Andy Dalton was incredible. It's not like Cam Newton had an all-pro season. But those were three guys that were starters the year before who each signed for very modest money. And I know the Saints are always going to be willing to sort of kick the can further down the road on the salary cap. They are not concerned about being, cap flush this year or next year, the next year. They have got a really good roster as well, so you kind of understand it. But if you just look at the amount of money they'd have to account for on their salary cap for Drew Brees to not play next year, it seems like their best course of action to create competition at quarterback is probably just to take a flyer on someone, maybe a repeat with Jameis Winston. I don't know what his market's going to be this offseason, but I can't imagine if he couldn't find a job last year, he's not going to find, a multi-year deal that's worth, top starter money this offseason.
Oh, that thing was flying by.
Oh, yeah. Just dodging it.
But he said, Connor, what do you got?
Good. Vanderfield, now that the Jets have fired Adam Gase, is Sam Darnold going to go back as quarterback, or is he also going to be on the market?
Yeah, I think Sam. I really believe this because it's been a very popular topic of conversation for the past few weeks here. Is that now the season's over, fans and us and the media are already like making the decision about what we would do. I believe the Jets haven't made a decision about what their future is with Sam Darnold. I think that it's going to be dependent upon a few things: who they hire as head coach, and what the draft evaluation looks like for the next quarterback besides Trevor Lawrence, whether that's Justin Fields, whether that's Zach Wilson. If they're enamored by one of those players.
Whoa. Is Zach Wilson potentially higher than Justin Fields in some people?
Oh, I think so, for sure. I mean, and part of that was because up until Friday night, Justin Fields
fucking way.
had not. Yeah, and there's a long time away from April 29th, but
True.
I think some people felt prior to Friday night that Justin Fields had consistently been below standard in big games, right? He hadn't been his normal self in the biggest games of Ohio State seasons, whether it was Indiana, Northwestern this year. You go back to the Clemson game in the semifinal last year. Well, he showed everybody that he's got some, big game mentality to him this past Friday night. So I think Zach Wilson's going to find his way into the conversation. It may not be where he ends up, but it's a conversation.
The thing about Zach is he had his best game against Coastal Carolina there on Saturday night.
Everybody was watching.
He didn't, though. He lost.
I know. That was, but I will say this.
Not, by the way, I'm a Zach Wilson fan. I would like that to be known.
And it was, and you're right. It wasn't his best game, but it wasn't like
a full drop off.
Exactly. I don't feel like it was a total abomination, right? It was. You could also had some circumstances. They put the game plan together like 24 hours before the game began.
Yeah.
Flying out the night before. Like there were mitigating factors could talk themselves into Zach Wilson not being great that day.
Hey, he is incredibly athletic, has good personality. It seems like he's going to be able to learn things. But Justin Fields, if you talk to all the quarterback people, they say he's the guy. Gumpy, what do you got?
Yeah, Field, if Justin Fields had the game that Trevor Lawrence had, where do you think people would have Trevor Lawrence or at Justin Fields at today?
Yeah, I think that, as a matter of fact, he's much more informed than I am on this. But Todd McShay had a recent mock draft, I believe it was his first one, and he had him at ninth overall, and it might have been. So there are people that was before the Clemson game. So this is not. I don't think it's if he had played like Trevor Lawrence played, then I think he would have been talked about as like a borderline top 10 pick. I think because of the way he played, that at least until this next Monday when they play Alabama, the conversation is going to once again be, can this guy be the number 2 pick in the draft?
Is it because he's
We're
vegan?
fickle, though.
It's because he's vegan. It's because he's vegan. What do you got, Tiggs?
Field,
Probably what it is.
I got a question. So the NFL goes.
Hey, by the way, Field, this guy beat COVID.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. It's actually a COVID question. It's in my brain.
Well, legit.
Well, hopefully not.
It actually is.
The
That's why
NFL,
they got
they
tested.
went the entire year, got every weekend, and then what was it, this week or last week? They decided now that if you get COVID, you're out for 10 days. When did that change, and why did that change?
Yeah, the protocol has been updated all the time in the NFL. There was a time during the season where you could be on the COVID list for 1 day as a close contact. If I'm not mistaken, Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones is a really, really good player, obviously. Got placed on the list on a Wednesday and was off by Thursday. And that's nothing to do with him. I'm just using the example of how the protocol has changed. Now when you go on the COVID list, the minimum number of days you're on there is 5 days. So I think the NFL is, as probably everybody is, we're learning more about COVID every day. We're finding better ways to contain it. And the NFL has made it very clear from the get-go.
Are we?
We're going to update our protocols as much as we need to, no matter what anybody thinks. It's just how it's going to be. If that's what it takes for us to get through this safely, that's what it takes.
Are we? I mean, there are a lot of questions in the room whenever you said we're learning new stuff every day. I think that's accurate, but are we actually maintaining our learning? Do you know what I mean? Because it feels like everything changes every other week, and COVID-19's got this twin brother we didn't fucking know about.
Geez.
It's coming around everywhere. But I think why they're doing the 10-day minimum thing, this is like it's like if you go to a country that if you spit, you get your hand cut off.
Oh.
It's basically like, hey, this is a harsh punishment. We need you all to lock it. This is like a bubble without actually being a. This is like, hey, you got 10 days if you fuck up at all. Everybody needs to just go right to their bedrooms. Don't even look at your kids until the Super Bowl is over. I think it's more of a fear thing so they can continue to lock it down. But I think it's been an incredible job by the players, the NFL, getting to this point. And Super Wildcard Weekend is about to be awesome. It has been incredible.
I can't wait.
Been incredible. You guys have a full thing going on in ESPN, don't you?
Yeah, we're going to have 7 different broadcasts, ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, the app. We got Freeform. We got Nickelodeon.
Yes. That Nickelodeon one, dude. It's going to be crazy. SpongeBob's going to be out there.
Googly eyes.
Come on. Yeah. Which one are you on, Field?
I was, the honorable mention, just missed the cut.
There's 45 different broadcasts. How did you not get into any of those, Field?
Yeah, you got to, every once in a while, you got to take a little, status check of where you stand on the totem pole.
Hey, listen.
Apparently, I figured out where I stand.
Field, this is what's going to happen. We'll FaceTime you on Saturday.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, we'll record it. We'll put it out. Somebody will see you watching these games, Field, because that's what they got going on over there.
I love it.
We appreciate you, man. You're very, very intelligent. We appreciate your insight.
You guys are the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, Field Yates. Thank you. Okay, so nobody wanted to fucking tell me that the guy wasn't going to be on any of the fucking watch-alongs?
I didn't know.
Can't believe that.
You guys just set me up to bully a guy.
We
had no idea.
We assumed, like you did, that he would be.
That man is built for a Nickelodeon broadcast.
He's one of the best.
Why is he not on there? He would be great.
He would be.
He would.
That guy's like 55 years old. He looks 21.
Yeah, he's like the Mark Summers of NFL Insider.
He is unbelievable, Fieldish.
Could lead the cookies and milk segment on Nickelodeon.
Oh, they have 8 to 9 different broadcasts.
Should be on Freeform with DJ Khaled.
Ooh. By the way, big show, another one.
Bunch of surprises, he said.
Bunch of surprises. I got wild card halftime.
What?
Shout out to DJ Khaled. That dude makes bangers.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's on Freeform. I don't know which game, what time. He's got a halftime show. It's going to be electric. Just like the Orange Bowl halftime show, which I guess was not live. It was pre-taped, but they had a whole drone Olympic show.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really, really cool for those of us that were at home. Yeah, I guess there was 2,000 people in attendance that said it sucked there, but there was an entire good show for us at home.
I didn't see that.
A couple good bowl games, by the way. There was a couple good bowl games. And I'm not a big... Let's get to the break. I shouldn't say that. Okay. It's hard to watch some college football.
Oh, yeah.
All right. It's like high school football, but with older people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I think for some. But at this point, good college football is going on. There's some good football happening, good football play. It's been a lot of fun. And Super Wildcard Weekend, I can't wait. I was going to do a watch along, by the way.
Oh.
I was going to, and then I thought about how miserable it'd be to be here for fucking 10 hours. Can't do it.
That's a long day.
Won't do it.
It's a long day.
And there's 8 watch-alongs on all of Disney shows, and then I believe CBS and Fox have some stuff going
Amazon
on.
has
There's no reason for us to do it. We'll watch everybody else's watch-alongs.
Okay.
What's it going to be, 9, 10 hours?
Oh, yeah. Probably more than that.
1 to midnight.
You can just run Twitter like you normally do.
Hey, Jay, there's some. Oh, you got muted, dude.
Jeez.
There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, I would just tweet along. My little set of televisions, by the way, is really awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those lights.
The 4 o'clock games, there's like 50 of them. I could barely keep up with the whole thing.
Too many.
Hour 3 with AJ Hawk on the other side. We'll take some of your phone calls as well. This is the Pat McAfee Show on SiriusXM. Let me tell you a little story about these statistics. Troy Palamalu, okay? Fucking Troy Palamalu. So we had a fake for the Pittsburgh Steelers that was a 100%er. We didn't even have a cancel the goddamn play because it was a 100%er. If we ever end up in this situation, inside the 7-yard line on the left hash, it is a 100%er that the C gap will be wide open and we will just part the C to the left. It'll be a touchdown. 100%er. We're playing in Pittsburgh, the city I grew up in. I grew up in Pittsburgh. I won the punt, pass, and kick national championship, AJ. National championship, AJ.
Congrats.
AJ, did you ever win the national championship, punt, pass, and kick?
I think I got 3rd or 4th out of 4 at the Nationals.
I'm proud of you, man. Anyways, so we're there in that stadium, okay? A lot of McAfee's in there. A lot of McAfee's in Pittsburgh. I'm going to score my first fucking touchdown, night game, Sunday Night Football, I believe it was, right here, touchdown. We get into that situation, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is really going to happen. We're like on the 6 on the left hash. It's 4th and goal now. Field goal team's jogging on. I'm like, well, fuck, it's about to, I'm ready. I am ready for this to happen. So I get out there. I get down. Vinny's like happy for me. Vinny's like very excited. He's like, let's fucking go. Like Vinny's excited for me at this moment. I'm like, here we go. So I make the call. I forget what it was. So I start saying it, right? And everybody's looking at me like, okay, bright eyes. Here we go. Let's get after it. Offensive linemen are dead ass tired. They do not want to be in the middle of a field goal anyways. So they're just like, all right, I don't give a fuck if you die here, but this should work. Let's get some points. And all of a sudden, I go through my cadence, I call it, I get down, and Troy Polamalu's fucking ass goes ahead for however long his career was at this point. I think it was like 9 years or 8 years at this point. Not a once has he ever gone to this side of the field over here to the left and stood right in the C gap. Never. He lined up exactly where he had lined in film 100% of the time. And then as soon as I got to like the second cadence right before set, he just bounced his little ass right over to the C gap. And I like stopped everything I was doing and I literally just looked at him. And I gave him like what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, why are you there right now? And then I stood up and said, we are kicking it. We have to kick it. We are kicking this. And then I get down, and Vinatieri kicks it, and I jog off the field, and Chuck Pagano comes running up next to me. He's like, hey, good job. What'd you see? I said, what did I see? Palamalu just fucking went right into the goddamn C gap. What did I see? What did I see? And he goes, okay, sounds good. Good call then. Good call then. And then Vinatieri's like, hey, way to go, buddy. I'm like, way to go? Are we not going to talk about how big of a fucking asshole Troy Polamalu is for what just happened right there? So that's.
I saw the angel of death waiting for me in the C gap.
It's unbelievable. What, you thought I was going to run him over? No way. He's probably going to strip me and score a touchdown the other fucking. That's Palamalu, bro. That ain't just your backyard football with your son. These are professional fucking athletes. He'd probably jump over the lineman, pick me up, and run me into the other fucking end zone if he wanted to. That's what he would have done.
The hard-hitting safety of his generation, too. I mean, Ed Reed, great cover safety. I don't know that you would have feared him, but
Ed Reed, I would have feared Ed Reed. Yeah, if I saw Ed Reed in that C gap, absolutely. E.D. Reed, boy, the best safety you ever seen, boy. I ain't doing shit to Ed Reed.
No, Ed Reed would have made the tackle. I'm saying that Palamalu would have shaved years off your life.
Oh, my God. What's the most beer you did in one night, you think, of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them. Nice. But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused, they'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Overreaction Monday, January 4th, 2021. Hour 3 with AJ Hawk begins right now. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Joining us is a college football national champion and a Super Bowl champion and one of the greatest jawlines in the history of human existence. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. Hey, boy, AJ.
What's happening, guys? How'd it go with Field Yates?
Field Yates went pretty good. He told us a lot without really telling us anything official, but I feel like anytime you're talking to some of those insiders or part of those group text messages, they have a couple leads on some things, but they can't come out and say them, which is why I can never be an insider, because as soon as something gets in here, that son of a bitch is coming out. So I feel like whenever you're talking to an insider, you kind of got to bounce through what they're saying to figure out why they're saying what they're saying and who's coming from where, you know?
Yeah, I guess. And it's not like if you're Field Yates, he's not. ESPN would be pretty upset with him if he broke news on your show.
Oh, yes. They would be furious. Just like the NFL Network, every time Rappaport or Pelissero come on, we try to, peer pressure them into breaking news on here. They know that it'd be worse than selling a Manscaped ad on their IG story if they were to break news on some other platform, which we respect and appreciate the fact that they come on. But he talked about Urban Meyer in Jacksonville, and you're a guy that's been on Urban's boat before. If Urban was to go to Jacksonville Jaguars with your relationship with him, how do you think that whole thing will go? Because there is a pattern of successful college coaches absolutely coaching like shit in the NFL because the communication factor with a different level of human, different age of human, different generation of human doesn't translate as well. Do you think Urban will be okay?
Well, first off, I don't think Urban owns a boat. I have not been on a boat with Urban.
I thought I saw you in that.
Cruise ship.
I saw you in that. I saw you in that.
You're in the mirror in the background.
In the back. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that. That was a good time. We had a really good time. I looked.
I heard it.
I slimmed down a little bit now.
Ooh, some bubbles.
What?
He's been on a cruise.
There you are, right there, AJ. Here's your left shoulder.
Yep.
That's me. You got me, guys. So because I was there, I'm an Urban insider? Like I have information.
Well, and you do shows with him, you golf with him, you hang out with him, you guys are on cruises together. I know nothing about the guy other than the fact he called me out one time in a small thing. We got into a riff. We got over it. We're past it. Great college coach. Has some interesting things in his past. Great on television. Super successful. Will he be able to make the jump to the NFL? And if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, are you hiring him with your information, AJ?
It seems like Shad Khan, the owner, wants to hire Urban, but I mean,
news to me.
That'd be news to him.
Oh, what'd you say?
Doug Marrone was asked about the Urban Meyer thing, and he said, "Yeah, as soon as I heard about it, I called up Shad Khan, and Shad Khan told me that was news to me." So, fucking Shad.
Shad Khan has to say that. Think about all the rumors out there, though, Pat. Like they legally can't.
Sitting on his yacht. He's fucking sitting on his yacht. Doug, fuck, Doug. Did we lose? Yeah. It's Urban Meyer. News to me, Doug. Think about that with Shaw. That was awesome. But you think Urban would do well or no?
I do. I think if it's something he's all in on, like like when he was going to TV, I said, well, if Urban really wants to do it, if he's all in, he will be good. And I think that was the case when it comes to that Fox show. I think Urban was all in. He enjoyed it. And if coach is coach, man. And the guy he's only like 54 years old, something like that. If his health is fine and it's a perfect situation, I think he would go, and I think he'd be all right.
Okay, so he's allegedly already piecing together a general manager that he would want, Scott Peel.
But Pat, though, first off, none of this stuff has come from anyone in Jacksonville because with the Rooney Rule and everything, they can't just hand Urban the job. They have to interview other people.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, by the way. You're 100% right. They have to go through the proper process, and there wouldn't be tampering, right, because Urban's not affiliated with any teams. But it's been very interesting, I guess, since teams are interviewing via Zoom now. Like, guys are interviewing right now while they're already in it. Normally, used to be a time that there was. Now guys are just interviewing like a FaceTime in the morning. Oh, I like that guy. He was good on the Zoom. Did you see his backdrop? He had a fucking great. Wonderful. He had a dry erase board with a lot of stuff on it. He's going to work his ass off. I wonder how these are big decisions to be made. I assume they're going to get him in the building at some point, but a lot of these hirings are probably happening before people have even met face to face, I'd assume, which is pretty wild to me.
It's a different time, isn't it? Yeah, it would be weird, especially a lot of those interviews can go 5, 6, 7 hours long. So I doubt they're that long on Zoom, but man, I wouldn't want to be the person that's interviewing all these candidates.
AJ, last night you watched what Doug Peterson did to football.
Ugh.
You watched him pick up the shield of the NFL in his left hand, okay? And in his right hand, he kept it open. And then he did the rock, spit on it, slapped the shield right in the mouth last night with his decision to put Nate Sudfeld, who, that poor guy, Field Yates told us he had to renegotiate his deal going into this year to take less money. And then now he's laughing stock of the NFL. He's the face of tanking. If you want to lose a game, you put Nate Sudfeld in there. He doesn't. How do you feel about Doug Peterson today and what he did in despicable fashion on primetime television last night, AJ?
Well, I want to know, who was he in cahoots with that made him do this? Like, did the owner call it down? Is there somebody outside of the building? Like, what happened?
Nobody knows.
It doesn't seem to make any sense.
Well, he came out, obviously. So I was obviously saying that in jest for the people on the internet who are just hearing me talk about this for the first time. We all agree that if that game wasn't the last game of the season on primetime television, that this is talked about, but no way in a big way as it is right now. Doug Peterson came out afterwards, though, and had to answer for whether he was trying to lose the game or not. And he said, well, why would I keep Darius Slay and Kelsey and all them out there? It's a very intriguing situation. The locker room, I think it's going to be big turnover. Diggs' eyes just lit up. We potentially have some breaking news.
Well, it's news that'll make Gumpy very happy. Dolphins will part ways with offensive coordinator Jan Gailey.
Well, Gumpy was calling for this guy's head.
They listened to the show.
Yeah, but you just put a guy out to the pasture.
No, he was already out.
Jan Gailey's 70 years old.
He threw away his playbooks when they brought him out.
Oh, that's a Dolphins fan.
Back to the old folks' home, pal.
Okay, all right.
Took him out back.
Jan Gailey, you did not deserve that from a Miami Dolphins fan from Canada there in Gumpy, but he did think that Jan Gailey was potentially a problem for Tua's growth and for the offense to down there in Miami. I believe all Dolphins fans agree that they're ahead of schedule, but now they got a real decision to make with that Houston Texans number 3 overall pick. Do they go with Tua? Did they learn enough about Tua? Changaley's out. Now it's a new offense going in there. What are they going to do? Big breaking news. And Gumpy was kind of forcing this upon the Dolphins organization just about an hour and a half ago, telling Changaley, get the fuck out of town.
Smart move. Great move.
We'll see.
Okay, Gump. Here's my question for Gump, though. All right, who do you want them to bring in as their new offensive
He has an
coordinator?
answer.
I mentioned it earlier, AJ. A young college OC who will be on the field with Tua. Tua needs help down there. He can't have Fitzy with him for the rest of his life.
And that's because Chan's up in the booth.
Having a snooze. He's passed out half the game.
I mean, I know he's a head coach, but why not bring in Lane? If Lane has any interest in coming back to the NFL, reunite
Lane
those
trade?
two. Draft Devontae Smith. Just rebuild Tua's Bama team.
Lane Kiffin, by the way, saving tweets. Okay, saving tweets for weeks to respond after. I love the pettiness where Lane's at. He came on the show, gave us an incredible interview. I'd wonder, I think he just re-upped.
Yeah, he did.
Another couple-year extension where he just signed because his name was up for like the Auburn job and other jobs. Ole Miss was like, well, we'll re-extend you, give you another signing bonus, so at least we can keep you around for another year. But there has to be. Now, are you going with Tua? Are you moving forward with Tua?
Tua kind of stinks.
Whoa, see, a lot of people think Tua kind of stinks.
Fields is there, right?
AJ, people think Tua stinks, by the way.
I don't think he stinks. I don't think we know what he's going to be yet. Now, he doesn't look like Herbert, obviously. I think that's people's their expectations of what a rookie quarterback should look like are much different now than they used to be because we've had all these rookies have so much success early on in their career. But, yeah, I don't know. I can't figure Tua out. I don't know. I'm not saying he stinks. I'm not saying he's going to be the next franchise guy, going to be a top-tier QB, but I just don't know. I need to see him more.
Well, I agree, but we might not get the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Because if they move on, that'd be wild, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You have to give him a chance with weapons. You have to. You saw what he did against the Cardinals when they had Preston Williams, Devontae Parker.
Yeah, but
he
dude,
put up numbers.
Whenever they needed a play, they bring in the magic.
It's a worry. I was in the lab for a couple hours last night watching tape.
Okay.
All 22?
He's not using his legs to throw with power. Like
Here we go. We got fucking Ron Jaworski.
Changaley telling him to do that?
Fucking Ron Jaworski's back there.
So his hip's still fucked up.
Yeah, well,
That's why all those balls are sailing high because he's not driving with his legs.
you get him one more offseason with Trent Dilfer. Those balls are getting thrown out of the stadium.
That's right.
Down there at Lipscomb Academy. All right.
Cured COVID, he can cure Tua.
Who?
True.
Trent Dilfer.
Oh, yeah, they had that anti-COVID spray.
Spray. Yeah. Genius.
Why isn't everybody just using that?
I don't know. I mean, I really thought there would be more reaction when he mentioned that, and it kind of just got swept under the rug. It was wild.
By the way, a lot of alien conversation the last couple of days.
Oh, man.
AJ, starships from Elon, bro. $5 million. I'm going to fucking Mars. 150 tons of whatever liquid methane. Just going to be a $5 million purchase. He's going to be pumping those things out every 72 hours. Elon's an alien. I'm buying a starship. Can't wait to go to fucking space. Wow, already in space.
Let's go.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah. You would do well on that Mars trip. Isn't it like 3 years there, 3 years back or something?
You're going to need a glue guy. You're going to need a glue guy in there. I'll tell you. That's immediately regrettable, by the way. What's that, about 4 or 5 days into that thing?
Oh, my God.
Less than that, I think.
What did I?
3 hours.
Or you get a
that
situation
thing?
where you wake up and you're the only one awake on the ship, and that's bad.
Oh, like Jacob Sully.
Yeah.
You bring your Oculus. I think you'll be all right.
Oh, hey. Still undefeated, by the way, in the Oculus boxing.
Is it cool? I legit almost got one, but I haven't done it yet.
I'll tell you, so I feel like the boxing is very awesome. I got the car sickness thing. Felt like I was twisted 3, 4 a.m. because I went on a roller coaster one. I had to take that thing off, and I was like, it was like you're putting your foot down to stop the spinning. You know what I mean? It was a little bit bad. So I'm going to stay away from those games. I think those games are potentially my kryptonite. But the ping pong, the boxing, Top Golf has one. I was hitting some drives out of some bays off Top Golf, playing a little cornhole on there. I mean, you got to find your games. But, yeah, there's some downfalls for sure. The old equilibrium, I think, was tossed into a goddamn shitter whenever I was on that roller coaster. And I jumped off of something. It just, see you later. And I did like a look around. And it was like, ah.
Was that like when you'd be at Kennywood all day and then you would lay down at night? And
Spence.
yeah.
Or whenever you go Sandcastle and you go down to things, and at night it feels like you're still going down to things. That's what it was like when I was on a roller coaster about to puke. So that's the show.
I'm just gonna wait. I'll wait till you get sick of it, and then I'll try to get you to send. I'll tell your wife to send yours to me because I'm sure you'll be done with it in about 2 weeks.
That's not true. It's not true. This is my entire fitness goal. New year, new me, dude. Now, it didn't affect my morning routine, but still new year, new me. Dude, I don't want to give away my tactics if the artificial intelligent humans I'm fighting are listening to the show, which they potentially are, because it's Facebook, and I assume something's logged in on one of these computers, my Facebook, so they're automatically listening. And Duke from Chicago fucking caught these hands last night, but it seems like I got a move that is unbeatable in boxing. You just jab them in the gut, boom, boom, until they move their hands, and then you crow hop into a right hook around. You know what I mean? In real boxing, probably not great, okay? Probably eating a couple. But in the Oculus boxing, I just dislodge jaws from their fake fucking heads. It is awesome. Just fucking boom right in the gut, boom right in the gut, boom right in the gut. Oh, we opened up. It is awesome, dude.
It seems very realistic then.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
it is. If you're knocking people out like that, if you're exposing your whole body to try to knock people out like that.
I've been knocked down a couple times, okay? My little artificial guy got a good jaw, too. He gets back up. I don't like how quickly he goes down, but we are getting back up, and we will train. But I will say the Oculus boxing has made me incredibly overconfident. A truck cut me off this morning. Thought about pulling him over and fighting every person in the car. You know what I mean? Hey, come on. Pow, pow, pow. Bang.
See, that's why you need 2 Oculuses, so you can give one to the truck driver and say, hey, you ready to go? You want to do this again?
I don't know if you guys saw, my wife did get her Oculus this morning. Yeah. So there's potential battle Oculus
Here we go.
In the Oculus arena.
Might help the ping pong.
We got to get to fucking ping pong, dude. This guy got me. Guy hit his wife in the face with his hand while I was playing against him. I heard it.
Wait, can you hear are they talking?
Oh, yeah. I talked to a German guy the other day. Auctionik Flugenstein, get your dick out of my potato salad.
There you go.
I said it. I've been talking to him, you know what I mean? I did the whole thing. Guy I was playing with, really good player. And I was hitting the short corner hard, you know what I mean? And he had to reach for it, and his hand went out of his little designated guardian area, but he was so locked in on the ball, he hit his wife with the thing. And I heard him go, oh, I'm so sorry, babe. And then he had to redo his whole movement thing, and I waited on him, and then I served it to him. I laughed. I said,
hit him with a quick ace while he was.
Well, you got to throw 6 inches, and it's a gentleman's sport in there.
That's nice.
This lady from Japan fucking killed me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she had the inverted the whole thing.
Oh, you do that? Inverted Oculus.
Bro, it's real ping pong in there. I mean, it was a fucking ass beat.
Did you play with a smaller paddle, too?
I don't know if they changed the paddle size, but that thing was inverted like this right here.
Jeez.
You had to walk in there knowing you were screwed.
Oh, yeah. As soon as I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that? Because you see a head choice. Mine is just the Oculus, by the way. There's tigers and cats and things you can choose. I just got the Oculus.
Yeah.
All right, I want them to know there's a man back here. Yeah. So, and then this one, you have like the cat head, and then you see hand, and then you see paddle. So that's all you see. So you like see them like potentially scratching themselves. Like you can see them do their whole thing. And like when that guy hit his wife or whatever, like you saw his hand go and then stop, and it was like, oh no, and then both hands went up, you know what I mean? So it's like a whole
timeout.
It's a real thing in there. You need to get it, AJ. We need to box, and we need to play ping pong.
So I can box against you if I get one?
I don't think they're there yet, but let Elon fucking get his hands on this thing. We're like probably a month or 2 out from that.
Yep, at most.
Yeah. All right, let's get to a break, shall we? This show stinks. On the other side, you and I are going to do a segment. You cool with that?
Yeah. What is it?
Hashtag Pat, I don't want to overreact, but.
Let's do it.
From all around Twitter, the Cincinnati fan, real aggressive. I don't know if that's the face of the entire franchise, but we'll get there. There's a lot of, obviously, Eagles talk. There's other talk. This is maybe one of my favorite segments, just because the overreactions seem to grow bigger and bigger. And during games, people are sending in submissions. I mean, I'm pumped for this. All right, on the other side, big segment show, the Pat McAfee Show here, January 4th, 2021.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Pat McAfee. Used to hold balls for Adam Vinatieri. Now I'm in his home state. College game day is absolutely electric. In Brookings, South Dakota. Let's go!
College game day has made the voyage to Brookings, South Dakota to experience a game with the best fans in college football. I unfortunately cannot attend because I have a game this Sunday, So I sent a man I trust to make my picks. A man who was my holder for almost a decade. Please be nice to him. Welcome this week's celebrity guest picker, Pat McAfee.
Go big, go blue, go Jacks.
Hosting Auburn. Yes, everybody saw this. The best fake punt in the world. What do you think, Pat?
I absolutely loved it all the way up until execution time. That is not one we like to show in the brand headquarters and punting and kicking world.
Oh, dance off. Oh, let's get weird. Yes. Duck that, huh?
Bang! Right off the top of the dome. That makes it a lot easier when you got a dummy standing right in front of you like that.
Running. He's Daniel Russo.
Wax on, wax off, knee to the face.
World Series.
Go, yes.
These teams stink. With that 15, they celebrate by doing shotguns. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm going with the University of Virginia Cavaliers. That was great. Whoa! And I will never, ever in the history of my life cut against that ball. Oklahoma State is the winning here. Not so fast again.
But I'm going with Trey.
Please excuse my dumb friend Kirk. You look at this crowd, they've been out here since 4 a.m. College game day comes to town, they lose their mind. The population of this state is about 800,000, and when the Jackrabbits take the field, they're alongside all 800,000 South Dakotans. The Dakota marker was in Fargo for far too long. Today, 5 o'clock local time, the Dakota marker is back in beautiful Brookings, South Dakota. Terry School. They might be the Jackrabbits, but they're the Goats today. Ladies and gentlemen, South Dakota State with the win.
Give me that place in.
No, don't do that. No. Leave. Coach.
He has the
Pat says it'll be no.
I told you I came on your radio show. That we were going to get you on College Game Day.
Not only are you incredibly intelligent and handsome, you're a man of your word. You picked North Dakota today, so I had to bury you.
That's okay.
But it's been nothing but incredible. The College Game Day crew is hospitable. In South Dakota State, I think we can all agree, they showed up here.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I've watched the show, obviously, forever. And it's on in every single NFL locker room. My coaches are.
Yeah,
so this is a big-time deal for me, my family, my friends.
All right, I'm back in the day here.
Appreciate you, boys.
It's from the training room at the Colts. AJ Watt tweeted.
It's very hard to process a human being without the show games.
I get texts from every human that I've ever done television with, like since way back in the day. They're like, we knew this day would come. Equipment managers, old teammates. I mean, you don't get to trend on Twitter often anymore. They make it damn near impossible. Go up onto a stage with a couple legends, talk some shit in front of the incredible South Dakota fans. What an awesome opportunity.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Makes no sense.
They just gotta fix that hitch.
Yeah. The ping pong's so real on that Oculus. That's what we were talking about right there. Welcome back to Pat McAfee Show. A lot of Oculus talk during a break there, AJ.
Yeah.
A lot of
The
Oculus.
one thing I'm interested in is I just want to play the ping pong and the boxing. Other games don't really, I don't know.
There's a drunken bar fight game too. It's pretty good. Nowhere near as tough as the boxing, your opponents, but you're still punching a bunch of people in the mouth.
Oh,
Like at a time.
can't wait. Sounds awesome.
It's a good time. Everybody I talk to about the boxing game, I'm like, listen, I don't think I'm like a combative person at all, but there's something to just like giving somebody a body and watching their ribs, like that Garcia, like not having to do it in real life or the threat of getting punched in the actual face or anything, but also still getting the feeling of, I just outwitted this fucking fake human. Yeah. I mean, it's a good time. I've been getting knocked down though in a lot of my fights now because I'm up at the top. It's tough.
You got tougher competitions, like when you're going through Mike Tyson Punch-Out back in the day?
That's exactly what it is, by the way. But then you move up your levels or whatever. 8 guys or 9 guys. I forget if it's 8 or 9 guys. And then there's different levels. So you got to fight the same guys. Kind of a little bit of a flaw, but still fun to fight them.
Yeah. Plus, you got the strap.
I'm going, yeah. Well, at one level, I'm up at the next one now. I'm going to have to beat fucking Edward Price again.
Jeez, Eddie.
Yeah. I switch to southpaw every once in a while when I can't hold my arms up anymore, AJ. It's fucking wild, dude. Anyways, let's get to this segment. We're supposed to potentially have Justin Tucker on the show, I guess.
Ooh.
He was going to potentially come on the show, but
awesome.
I don't know if we have him yet. So let's do this segment. Then if Justin Tucker pops in, we'll chit-chat with the field goal legend from the Baltimore Ravens. I think he just hit a game winner like last week or whatever. This past weekend, he was just bombing balls. He's so good at football. We'll talk to him about life. But let's get to hashtag Pat, I don't want to overreact, but.
Pat, I don't want to overreact, but.
Here we go, Overreaction Monday. Let's get to him, Foxy. Please bring the first one up onto at Tampa Big Red says, hashtag Pat, I don't want to overreact. Oh my God, the Browns are in the playoffs and I woke up feeling dangerous. Congrats to the Browns.
Dog pound.
You're in Ohio, AJ. Cleveland Browns are in the playoffs. Nobody thought this day would ever come.
Yeah, I guess they didn't. I don't know. I felt weird watching like the mass celebration when they just barely squeaked by the Steelers when they didn't have any starters playing.
AJ, how come you can't have respect for decades of failure getting flipped on its head? How come you can't appreciate the fact that the Dog Pound has been a loyal fan base through terrible, god-awful, ridiculously bad, embarrassing, hilarious football that the Cleveland Browns have put on the field for the last 18 years. Now Baker Mayfield, Stefanski get them to the playoffs. Turn of a tide for the entire Dog Pound. They go from little terrible kennel to fucking big-ass doghouse for the Dog Pound, just in one clean swoop of the Pittsburgh Steelers with Mason Rudolph at the helm, who is an NFL quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
People forget.
Kind of.
He is. I mean, I have a lot of respect for what the Browns did. I guess I just hold them to a higher standard. My expectations for the Browns aren't just like, oh, hey, we're happy to get into the playoffs. I didn't grow up a Browns fan. I am a fan of I loved Bernie Kosar back in the day when he was the quarterback. I like Baker. But yeah, I just feel like, hey, Stefanski, I'm sure wasn't like, he's happy. Yeah, we broke the streak. We're in the playoffs. But he's like, hey, we're just scratching the surface of where we're going.
I like that Stefanski saying that because Stefanski was at Minnesota when they had the Minneapolis Miracle, right? That was a moment of happiness, you know? And I like Baker saying that, but Baker had success at Oklahoma, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I like the players saying that and saying, hey, this isn't what we're trying to do. But you got to remember, the entire fan base is like, yeah, this is awesome. Yeah. This is not what we have experienced in any time in the recent history. So we are very thankful. I'm pumped for them. Big game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The AFC North, 3 out of the 4 teams were represented. Last year, the team that had the MVP and the number 1 in the AFC North got into playoffs also had the greatest kicker in the game. This year, Baltimore Ravens, now one of the hottest teams in all of football, going to be taking on the Tennessee Titans. Robert Griffin III told me they're going to go get their bike back. Still have the greatest kicker in football, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Tucker. What's going on, dude?
What's up, Pat? Thanks for having me, bud.
Hey, you hit a 50-some-yard game winner. What was that, last week?
A couple weeks ago, yeah, playing Cleveland on Monday Night Football. That was a big one for us. We needed that big time.
Oh, yeah, it was 55-yard. Lamar Jackson, right? That was the one where he went and pooped, came back out, big-time game. Then you hit an absolute slaughtered ball to win that thing at the end.
I'll borrow one of your phrases, allegedly.
Yeah. Smart. How you feeling? Hey, your team. Now, I need you to talk to me in a serious fashion here, okay? Justin, I don't need any bullshit. Your team going through that COVID thing. Your team looked uninspired, right? You guys did. It looked like a completely different Baltimore Ravens team. Last year, watching the Ravens, it was like electric. And then there was a little bit of a time period this year where it looked like the juice was potentially lost. You guys were going through COVID. You weren't even allowed in the same room. Then something happened, and you guys are all the way back. What was it? What made you guys flip the switch to become the team that's very hot again? And what was it? Was there a determining factor? Was there something that happened that we missed from a national standpoint?
You know, it's hard to say if there's any one particular moment. I think there were several, there were several things that we had to face as a team. Obviously, our COVID situation was incredibly tough to navigate. And I think in a way, as much as we physically had to separate, we came together as a team in a way that it's incredibly unique in very much in 2020 fashion. We had to find a way to, just get a game played at Pittsburgh with, a just a handful of our roster available, and that's what it felt like. And then to go out there and, I mean, we didn't get the result that we wanted, but we left it all out there. We had a bunch of guys that had never even, that were frankly probably never even thinking, I'm going to be starting on the offensive line this week, or I'm going to be starting for the Baltimore Ravens playing the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. And they did, and they stepped up in a really big way. And I think that in a way that experience in its entirety galvanized our team in a way that, like I said, only 2020 could offer that sort of adverse situation that we had to navigate.
Justin, what's one of the toughest surfaces, I guess, in the league to kick off? Like I watch different kickers, and I always see Chicago. They have that long Notre Dame grass. I'm like, man, that must be tough as a kicker. Are there places that are easier than others?
There's definitely. I mean, anywhere inside is typically easier. I would say no kick is ever easy. It's about making it look that way consistently over and over and over again, and that's why you have the Adam Vinatieri's and the Robbie Golds, the guys who make kicks over and over and over again. Phil Dawson comes to mind, a guy who played many, many years in one of the toughest places to play, Cleveland, with Lake Erie right on the other side of the stadium. But the toughest places to kick, in my opinion, I think our stadium is incredibly tough to kick. Just given that we play on a natural grass surface, our guys do a great job of taking care of it throughout the year. But it's just incredibly tough with the way the wind swirls around in there. And then Heinz Field is obviously one that sticks out. I played at Chicago one time, and we happened to play in the middle of a tornado. So the field was the field was brutal. But anywhere where the grass is long and it gets cold and windy, it's just tougher to kick.
Hey, Tuck, I want to get inside your brain a little bit here, okay? Because what you just referred to there with Vinatieri and Robbie Gold and Phil Dawson, and you can even go with the Hansen, who played forever, but none of his games mattered ever, so you have to question every single kick, whether he made it or missed it. It didn't matter because they were Lions. So I still think to be that great at something for that long, there's a lot of people that have big legs. There's a lot of people that can kick balls far. From a mental aspect, how often do you work on that? Is that an everyday thing? Do you do meditation in the morning? Because mental is everything. It's golf, pitching, kicking, punting. It's all in between the ears, everything. Now, granted, you have to have the explosivity to be able to bomb a ball, which you do and anybody in the NFL does. But the in between the ears thing, how often do you work on that?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't really know if I do, to be perfectly honest. I think I just, I mean, I don't want to get all kumbaya on you, but I think I just take every moment for what it's worth, and I enjoy it. I focus. I at the end of the day, what's going on in between your ears when you're lining up a kick, for those 1.3 seconds between the snap, the hold, and when the time the ball leaves my foot, what's going on in between my ears doesn't really matter. What matters is making the kick, seeing the ball come off my foot, making sure my plant is wide and I'm exploding off of my plant down the field toward my small target line. And I mean, as I'm talking about it, that's
it's a lot of shit.
That's a bunch of stuff. And there's a lot of detail that goes into each one of those things, as you well know, Pat. But,
I'm not going to go down as one of the greatest kickers of all time. So hearing you say it is a real thing. It makes me kind of feel good about when I was like, I had some of those same thoughts as Justin Tucker. You know what I mean? Because
straight up, every time I go and take the field, whether it's the first practice in OTAs and I'm just trying to put through that first PAT of field goal period in the middle of May. Well, not this year, but and every other year in the middle of May. Or whether it's that or game-winning field goal on Monday Night Football in December, there's all the feelings. It's just to what degree are you feeling them? I mean, I'll have a combination of fear and excitement and confidence, anxiety, and then when the ball leaves my foot, exhilaration, and then when I see it go through the post, relief. All of those things happen in a really short period of time. But if I've learned anything, it's that none of those feelings actually determine whether or not you make the kick. The only thing that matters is executing. And once I really bought into that wholeheartedly, I like this last week, yesterday, today's Monday, yesterday in Cincinnati, we're playing a game that we need to win to get in. We don't want to rely on anybody else's results to get into the postseason. And before the game, I'm sitting in the locker room and I'm really nervous. I can't help it. Like, if you're not nervous, then you're not, like, it's almost like you don't care. And like, I think that's like one of the greatest sins in professional sports, is not caring enough to be like a little nervous, a little scared. But then when you go out onto the field and, you've done it a million times in practice, it's, there's a lot of stuff that comes kind of second nature. And then there's a lot of stuff that you got to kind of adapt in that moment. So if the wind is blowing hard in your face, right to left, you got to put the ball in the right quarter of the uprights to start off the flight path. All of those things come together in a kind of serendipitous, like, beautiful way, and that's, to me, one of the like sickest things about playing professional sports is just taking all that in and then putting it into something that helps your team win.
AJ has a great question for you. I can't wait for it. But let me tell you what it looks like when you go on the field. Oh, there's a guy that's going to slaughter a fucking football. I mean, every single time you go out there, and it's dead. The spin, the rotation is so good. It's one of the most true things and pure things in sports, to be honest with you. So congrats on that. Not easy to do. Doesn't get talked about. Congrats on another Pro Bowl. Well deserved, my friend. AJ, what do you got?
Yeah, Justin, I just want to know with this year, how different is it without the big crowds there? I know from being on the other side when guys would yell the stupidest things to kickers to try to get them to miss. I'm just wondering now, like, you have to be able to hear everything. Like, does that change anything?
You definitely hear more on the field. I've heard more from the sidelines. I think guys on the field are more or less just concerned with executing their assignment and less concerned with trash talking the kicker, who's probably going to make the kick anyways. I hear more from the sideline than I do from what's actually happening on the field. But I mean, again, it doesn't really matter. And like, I feel like I'm uniquely prepared for exactly that, because I had Terrell Suggs as my teammate for like 7 years. So anything anybody else has to say pales in comparison to whatever Sis could come up with on a given Wednesday or Thursday during field goal period.
Hey, Ball So Hard University, bro. You gotta learn that. Yeah. Before we let you go, can't thank you enough. Another incredible year by you. Ravens Titans playoff matchup. Robert Griffin III told us one team's excited to go get their bike back, which is what happened last year when the Titans came in, stole your bike. What is the thoughts going into this week? And have you played in Nashville? Are you excited to get into that stadium?
I'll answer the second part first. Like, played in Nashville 2 times, and it's a fun stadium. It's a great city. We're obviously not going to be able to like explore or go and grab a bite to eat or something. I mean, like, my favorite Tex-Mex place that I grew up with in Austin, kind of smaller chain, Chewy's,
yeah, we got one here in Indy.
Oh yeah, sick, dude. All right, so on my deathbed, last meal, swear to God, would be Chewy's chicka boom boom enchiladas with the beef dinner taco on the side and the guac. Just wash it all down with a giant Dr. Pepper and finish the whole thing off with some tres leches. Chef's kiss. But
that's your deathbed order right there?
There's no
chicka boom boom?
Yes, Pat. Did I stutter?
No, you didn't. That was kind of the problem I had. Sorry about that. Shout out to Chewy's. It is good.
I mean, I'm a little biased because I lived basically next door to the original Chewy's for a couple years while we were in college, and I was basically a regular at the spot. So I'm a little biased, a little homegrown kind of feel there.
Yeah.
But as far as getting our bike back, our proverbial bike back, I personally, I'm less concerned with that, and I'm just thinking more about making kicks, man.
Smart.
Like this matchup has kind of evolved into a really fun, unique rivalry that is reminiscent of the Shannon Sharp AFC Central days, and that's I think in a way, like the league kind of coming full circle like that over a period of time. I think that's really cool. But, as far as this matchup being any different to me personally, no, not really. I'm just trying to do my job, bro.
You're hilarious, dude. Hey, before we let you go, University of Texas is all upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Firing coach after coach. Okay, cool, hook 'em. Okay, cool, get the hell out, pal. Now we got Sarkisian in there.
And we're back, baby.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was a softball. I appreciate it. But,
Hey. What is the deal? What is the deal with Texas? By the way, what is this Regions Board of Council that you hear about? Because all the higher end people in college football, they go, well, if you get the Texas job, you got to be able to handle the Regions Board of Governors or something like this, and they make decisions. Why is it so hard to win in Texas? Do you guys make it impossible down there? Because it's awesome in Austin. Okay, the school has great tradition. Is it impossible to win there, or what is it?
I certainly don't think so. I was a part of myself personally, I was a part of some great Texas teams. A team that went and won a Fiesta Bowl, team that went to a national championship, and we lost that one, but that's neither here nor there.
Got to the dance. Got to the dance. A lot of teams don't make it.
We were there. We were shuffling. But I mean, you mentioned the Board of Regents and all that stuff, and like that's way beyond me. That's like some Hunger Games level. Like, I have no comment on the Board of Regents. Plus, I don't want them like showing up at my house or something.
Smart.
I'm scared, straight up.
Well, they need you this weekend. Good luck this weekend. Thank you for your time. Keep crushing it, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Tucker. Thank you, Tucker.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, no problem. He's really good at his job.
Oh yeah.
He's probably an incredible golfer, too, if I had to guess, right? Because it's just like repeat, set, and repeat.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. AJ, do we want to get back to overreactions? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Was there any breaking news while we were on there?
Not that I know.
Hey, big thanks to Tuck for joining us, by the way.
He looks like him and Ty. I thought were doppelgangers. I thought they were family.
What do you got there, Nick?
It's not. The Chan Gailey being fired is hotly disputed right now on the internet. ESPN wrote a story about it, but Schefter has still not tweeted about it. Ooh. There was a fake Schefter tweet that went around earlier.
Oh, no. Diggs got by a fake Schefter. A darn Schefter. A darn Schefter got you, Diggs.
No, it literally says on ESPN.com. It has an article that says reported by Adam Schefter.
Okay.
Well, why hasn't he tweeted it?
That's a good question.
Hey,
maybe the ESPN.com digital team got had by the fake Schefter.
That's what people think because the fake tweet is about 20 minutes before the ESPN article.
Oh, my God. A darn Schefter got him? Oh, no. Can't have it. Because then you got people dancing on his grave in Indianapolis, Indiana, who are Dolphins fans out of nowhere.
And then when they extend him, think of how he's going to feel.
Oh, how's Gumpy? You're never going to get those words back, Gump.
No.
Never going to be able to get.
They're
already out there.
By what I said. I don't care if he's there or not. He stinks.
Oh, wow. See, that didn't have to happen.
Heads are rolling at ESPN right now.
I doubt it, but somebody should do something. I mean, granted, they're not the only ones who misreport things.
No.
I mean, we've done that.
It happens.
What?
Well, we reported somebody's misreporting of somebody passing. You remember that?
No.
And we got attacked. Let's get back to the overreaction, shall we?
Hell yeah.
And then we'll take some phone calls. This one's from Randy Fraley here. Hashtag Pat, I don't want to overreact, but is the Bengals Zach Taylor getting one more year just because Joe Burrow has one more good knee? This was the tweet I was referring to. Why do you think the Bengals are so bullish on the foundation that Zach Taylor has put together? And Joey Burrow has put out a tweet saying he can't wait to get back out there and everything like that. What is Zach Taylor, and I'm not around Cincinnati enough, what has he done to make people believe, you know what, this guy's a guy. This guy can get us some wins. Does he have good press conferences? What happens over there?
No, I don't know. I mean, press conferences are so terrible now, too, because they're all through Zoom, and there's, I have a hard time watching them. But, I mean, Zach Taylor, he's there because he's still under contract. The Bengals don't want to fire a coach and still pay him and then have to pay the new staff to come in. So there's a lot of money involved, I feel like, when they want to fire a coach, and the Bengals are not one of those teams that is cool just firing a guy with – what does he probably have 2 years after this, 3 years left, and having to pay all that money?
See, everybody's upset about what Peterson did yesterday. Well, how come more people are mad about the Bengals and how they run their operation?
Yeah.
You know?
That's how they've always run the operation. That's why.
That's what I'm talking about, though. For however long it's just been able to be, do whatever. We're just here for the cash. Everybody knows it. We're just here for the cash, okay? You boys go out there and play. The Brown family's going to rake in cash. We're going to be the president of the team, general manager of the team. We're going to do this. We're going to give ourselves $1 million contracts. We're just going to go ahead. And by the way, if the team stinks, team's not happy, you need a scouting department, we ain't got one. Shouldn't that be talked about a little bit more, maybe? Don't you think that is something that's more disrespectful to the NFL than anything that could have happened on Sunday Night Football last night?
It does get talked about a little bit, but it's more like the old term inside baseball when they want to talk about like the front office of the Bengals and how like people get. I think when you get too deep into it, especially when you're talking about front office, scouting departments, all this stuff inside indoor practice facility, which you mentioned daily, people I think they tune out. They don't really care.
Well, I just know that there was times at midnight, 12:45 a.m.
Hell yeah.
where I wanted to get extra work in, and I went to the Colts indoor practice facility, turned on the lights, grabbed the aux cord. I went to work hour and a half to learn how to fucking punt.
Ooh.
You think any Cincinnati Bengals doing that?
Probably not.
No way in hell. And that's just one little indicator. That's just one little indicator of the way everything else is being run. And the fact that you are so certain that the reason why they're not moving on from Zach Taylor, and it's not because of success or promise or anything like that, it is strictly just because of the dollar amount. I mean, when you take heart out of the sport and you only think about the bottom line, I mean, that needs to be discussed in a fashion that Doug Peterson putting fucking Nate Sudfeld on the field is discussed.
Bengals fans should be storming
the castles.
Yes, right now, as we speak, to get that place built.
But they won't. We'll go on another year. Yep. We'll take another trip around the sun. We'll buy a Starship, some spaceship that Elon made that's only $5 million. We'll go up into space. We'll come back. We'll go to Mars. 3 years there, 3 years back.
Hell yeah.
Bengals will still be doing the same old bullshit. Their fans don't deserve it. The players don't deserve it. And most certainly, the beautiful game of football doesn't deserve it.
They didn't let Marvin Lewis go until all of his guaranteed money was gone because they don't like paying coaches to not work.
You were trying to get him fired for a long time. And it turns out he was maybe a godsend over there. Yeah.
Why the fuck would you hire this guy to like a 6-year contract if you have no idea what he can do if you're just going to let him stay the entire time? I mean, it just doesn't. Then it doesn't matter at all.
They'll probably sign the next person to a 15-year contract so they can lock it in at the prices that it's in right now for the next 15 years and just like, are you going to win? Don't care. What's the deal you're willing to take? All right, $1 million a year? Let's lock you in for the next 100 years, coach. Till death, pal. Till death. You got the job. Way to go.
Get Burrow out of there.
No, Joe's pumped.
Yeah, can't wait to play.
Joe's put out a tweet, said he's pumped to go there.
Until his left knee explodes next year.
Whoa.
I hope it doesn't happen.
That
really
didn't sound like it with the way you said that.
I love Joe Burrow, but Jesus Christ, protect the guy.
I think the Oculus maybe did something inside my ear hole here.
Vertigo?
Well, no, it's just a little, there's something going on.
Is the eardrum again? Is it acting up?
Oh, can't feel it.
Is that L1, L2, or L4, L5? What is it?
T.
Yeah,
thank God.
T1, T2, L4, L5.
By the way, those are okay. We did get the scans back. Thanks for asking, Aaron. Let's go to the next one, please. This is from C. Shandbrum, Chris Shambrum. Hashtag Pat, I don't want to overreact, but hearing Ron Rivera say, hey, thanks, at the handshake made me want to punch my television. Thankfully, I value my hand. Says New York Giants fan right there. Ron Rivera, by the way, going to Doug Peterson saying, thanks for what you did there, man. Is a hilarious little right into the Giants fans. But Giants fans, you guys won 6 games. Okay, everybody doesn't even. The rest of the NFL was worried that the NFC East even got an opportunity to be in the playoffs. I can see how Doug Peterson directly affected you, but the whole season, too, the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand in the moment, like if you're a Giants fan or you're a Giants player and you're watching that game, I can see you being frustrated and being upset. And then as soon as the game's over, you have a second to think about it. Like, well, I can't be too upset. Like, we won 6 games.
We stink. Yeah, we fucking suck.
We needed help everywhere. Like, this was not, like, all that mattered to us.
And we wouldn't have had that moment with Chase Young sitting on the middle of the field after the game.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which is – go ahead.
ESPN says that Changeli has not been fired and the error has been corrected and the story has been removed from ESPN.com.
A darn Schefter got somebody at ESPN. Wow.
Oh, no.
Hey, big congrats to Changeli, by the way. Changeli still got a gig down there in Miami. Congrats to all Dolphins fans everywhere, getting somebody who's been around the game for so long, who's a steadfast and a constant to that Dolphins team that is currently on the rise. To speak for Dolphins fans, our resident Dolphins fan, Bubba Gumpino.
It's only a matter of time. Enjoy it while you can, Chan.
Seems like Gumpy enjoyed the first news break as opposed to the correction of the news break.
A little bit.
A little bit more. You want to go to some phone calls, AJ?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go to Vaughn in Indianapolis. What's going on, Vaughn?
Hey, Pat, Von Lilas here. How's it going today?
Oh, this guy chopped the shit out of me. This guy's a wrestler, okay? OVW wrestler. First person I trained with Rip Rogers, and it would end every single time with chops. This guy might be 6'9" with the wingspan of a fucking maybe Avatar bird.
Whoa.
And his chops would be bruised for weeks. Jeez. Good guy, though. Used to be a teacher, I believe. Go ahead, Vaughn.
He's calling in to save the show today.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Vaughn. Appreciate that. What do you want to talk about, brother?
But I got cut in front with Justin Tucker, but that's all right. So I want to slow down a little bit on the Doug Peterson thing. I thought it was great. I thought it was one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Okay.
I thought his interview was awesome. Hey, he's been with us for 4 years. He hasn't got to play yet at all. I just thought it was his time to get a chance. I thought that was great. And why, if we're going to go after him, why are we not going after Tomlin? I mean, he played Mason Rudolph in a meaningful game.
True.
We're not going after Frank Reich. He tried to throw a game yesterday. I mean, come on.
It's true.
Nate Sudfeld, I believe, is an Indiana guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Indiana people tweeting about me, tweeting about Nate Sudfeld. It was kind of a predicament I was in because I didn't know he was an IU guy. There was a lot of people happy to see him get his shot, and then that shot kind of withered away, but nothing to say.
That long ball he threw was pretty nice.
Pretty nice. Yeah, it looked good coming out.
Yeah,
of his
tight
hand.
spiral.
Yeah.
The punt?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
It did spin.
Yeah.
He was throwing like Wolford.
Yeah.
Wolford got a dub. His defense got him a safety, pick six, and then there was a field goal, obviously. Why didn't old Nate Sudfeld's boys do that? I mean, they tried. They got like 7 turnovers last night.
Yeah, they did.
Oh man.
I don't think there's any way that Doug Peterson made this decision on his own. Like, do you think was the rest of the team shocked when they saw this happen?
I don't know. That's interesting because Jason Kelsey gives that entire speech, like a week ago about culture of winning and everything, and then this happens. It's like maybe Kelsey knew it was coming, and maybe Kelsey just did that whole speech to kind of stir the pot. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I'd love that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Doug's staying, right? They announced that he's going to be there.
I think him and Howie did a joint Zoom today. I believe. I don't know how it went. I saw that it was happening. So Carson Wentz, they're going to try to unload him. Is Jalen Hurts the guy? Or are they going to go somewhere else at 6? What are they going to do?
Sudfeld. Let Sudfeld get a whole week of preparation.
Is that what they were trying to find out, whether or not Sudfeld was a starter or not?
I think so.
Started before, hasn't he?
I have no clue.
I don't know. Let's go to Aaron in Oregon. What's going on, Aaron? A lot of Oregon calls. Aaron, what's going on?
Hey, Pat, what's going on?
Hey,
first, I want to say T's and P's to Zito with the COVID and gout combo. Quite a deal there.
That is. It's like hawk and animal.
And second, calling in to say that the Chiefs stink and they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Not even close.
Not even close, huh? They already won one playoff game without even playing one. Why do you think they're not? Why do you think they're not even close to winning the Super Bowl?
Because Josh fucking Allen is coming for that ass.
I like that. Josh Allen fans are loud right now for a good reason. He looks unbelievable, AJ. Hey, Josh Allen looks unbelievable right now.
Looks great. He's playing with a ton of confidence and just slinging that thing. I agree. The Bills, they do look great, but you know what? I think out of the first round matchups, they have a tough one with the Colts. I think the Colts are a scary team.
I think so too. That opportunistic defense, against Josh Allen and the way they play, they could get a couple turnovers. Right now, granted, on the complete opposite side, Josh Allen could get hot and they could go. But that defense could create a couple turnovers. The Colts getting 7 seems like a lot of points. But you do have to recall, Phillip Rivers in the playoffs, I think that's probably what the books are going right now. I don't know. It's an interesting – with Jonathan Taylor, they're a different team, that Colts team. They found like I don't want to say an identity, but it feels like they found an identity here late in the season. Now, this is back-to-back second halves where they have gone to complete shit, basically. And then Jonathan Taylor kind of saved them out this past weekend against the Jaguars. But I don't know. The Colts are a scary team. But Josh Allen's playing like Aaron right now, by the way. He's playing like Aaron, like confident, slinging it. Aaron just has been doing it the entire season and for his entire career. Have you ever seen your guy, A-Rod, just as confident, as comfortable, and as just everything that he is? He looks so fucking comfortable out there. 19 completions yesterday, 4 of them for touchdowns, should have been 5. I mean, it's just unbelievable football out of that guy.
Well, Ty might know the stats better than me. I'm sure he does. I believe that coming out of the lockout, I remember Aaron played well in the preseason, and he just rolled it into the regular season. We went 15-1. I don't know. Did he win MVP that year, Ty? It was probably 2011?
Yeah, he did. He had 45 touchdowns and 6 picks that year. Yeah, that's what, watching him for a long time, this is the best statistical year of his career, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, I just hope that, I hope the rest of the team is able to handle this bye week. Like, I know Aaron will be fine, but it's weird, man, when you have that week before the playoffs and all the other teams kind of have some momentum. There's a weird thing because you fight for the bye and then you're never really sure how your team's going to play once you come off that bye.
Aaron, what's your message to your team going into the bye week? I think you said don't get fucking COVID.
Yeah.
Listen, just don't. That 10-day mandatory jail sentence, if you come up with a positive, is the NFL saying don't get fucking COVID. We are in the playoffs. Lock it down. A darn Schefter might not say that, but I'm saying that's the only reason why that rule took into place. You got about a minute here until the end on the Sirius XM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio show. AJ, anything to say to the radio listeners before Chris Mad Dog Russo and Mad Dog Unleashed, a much better show than ours, comes on this incredible radio channel?
Well, we don't have a Monday night game, huh? So that's it for those.
It was a good run.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Great run.
Good run.
Do they have a playoff game? Did they get a playoff game, the crew?
ESPN for sure does.
I would assume they have one, right? They got 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
It's the Saturday night game, I believe.
Can we put up the graphic of the playoffs? Zito made this, and we're going to use it all week, but it was an incredibly well-done thing.
Wow.
Here. And now, granted, obviously with our TV, you can't really read much. This is our graphic, though. Pretty good, huh? AJ?
Really good. Very good.
Yeah, Zito went to work on this thing. I think Zito will be back soon, by the way. I hope so. He took a test this morning. Hopefully he comes back negative.
Nice. So they're going to play the Packers going to play the Bucks in the divisional round, huh?
Yeah, I do believe so. Bucks, though, got to get past that Washington football team D-line. Diggs, what's up?
Green Bay has been outscored 75-18 coming off bye weeks in LaFleur's first 2 seasons.
Okay, that don't mean nothing at this point. Whole new bowl game. How many of those are in the playoffs, pal? How many of those are in the playoffs? That's what I thought. Chris Mad Dog Russo of Mad Dog Unleashed is next. His show will be better than ours. This has been the Pat McAfee Show. We will see you tomorrow for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
Well done. Well done.
And then I had to go a little bit Twister here at the end. Maybe Eminem. And a couple of different songs with the quick, we'll see you tomorrow for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. I got to piss bad. I've been housing these green teas because I didn't eat anything because I think my diet for the new year is just going to be don't eat.
One meal a day.
Maybe that's, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I've just been housing liquids. I got to pee so bad. There's 40,000 people still watching. Please, for the love of God, there has to be something else. I can't thank you enough for choosing to spend your time with us today. If we're in the background, maybe you're at work or at home or you're doing well, you're probably not at work, actually. Yeah. Well, COVID-19's brother's coming through. And
that happened.
Bingo. That's exactly what's going on. If you want to just put us on in the background, we are very thankful. If you don't even listen to us, we are very thankful for the opportunity. Hopefully we'll be able to give you captivating content throughout your days, and hopefully we'll be able to get through 2021 together as we absolutely drop dimes and suck it signs on the year that's going to be the greatest year of all time. From AJ Hawk, myself, all the boys, we'll see you tomorrow for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. AJ, any final thoughts?
I think Aaron's going to be in a good mood, and it's going to be a great show tomorrow.
I think tomorrow's going to be a good one, too. Yeah. I thought about it while he was doing the post-game interview, which, by the way, while he's doing post-game interview, he takes the thing off the wires, like kind of stuck on his shoulder pad, and he like laughs and like kind of hands it over. It feels like he's just he is in it right now. Dude, he's just fucking boom, 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 bang, bang, bang. Sling it.
It's really fun to watch.
Bro, he's on the sideline for 8 minutes to start that fucking game, and then he just comes out, bum, 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 bum. It was insane. It's awesome to watch. Can't wait to chat with him. Thank you, AJ. To all the YouTube folks, we should give away something on YouTube.
Ooh.
For how big it was. Foxy, what are you
doing, Fox?
What are you thinking?
What are you thinking, Fox?
Maybe like a Stafford jersey?
You know, since we got to 40,000, 44,000, 45,000, what was the highest today? Anybody back there?
44 something.
44?
Just over 44, yeah.
Okay, so we'll give away $4,400.
All right. Nice.
Okay, we'll give $4,400 to YouTube commenters. Somehow, some way, we got to figure that out. Somebody figure that out. I'll put that on Connor's job to figure out how to give away $4,400 to YouTube commenters. Make that happen. We'll see you tomorrow. Same Pat time, same Pat channel. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Cheers. See ya.